Howdy, folks.
That is
Welcome
the business phone.
to Mosaic Team 5. I am your Game Master, Joe, for this evening and most evenings. And joining me are my friends, Matt, Dan, Olive, Kara, and Ari. We have some Starfinder that we're going to be playing. I don't know why that was so hard for me to remember. But before we get to that, just a couple of quick announcements. First of all, there's a couple of ways that you can support us, because this is a lot of hard stuff.
I know.
One of the ways is with channel points, very much like what Phoenix Soldier just did. You can use channel points, a currency that you accumulate for free just by watching, to influence the story. We're actually getting very close to a turning point in terms of the Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk storyline, as Gibbs may have picked up on. So there are certainly things afoot, and that is all because of you. So thank you for doing that. We also have bits, which you can use. They're from Twitch. It's like a microcurrency. You can buy them. They really help because they directly translate into $ for us, just like subscribing. Both those things are super helpful. It helps pay for all the different things that we do here, including things like this spaceship down here, and the red van that's in there, and all the miniatures, and all that kind of stuff. So all that is really possible because of people helping out with bits, channel points, and just joining along in the adventure. When you do both of those things, you unlock emotes, which you can use both here and elsewhere across Twitch. For subscribing, you're able to actually get a couple of them that are related to Adventures in Alberon characters, our D&D campaign, which is every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, but for donating bits, you are unlocking little characters relating to the characters in this story. So depending on the number of bits that you've donated overall, you will unlock some relating to Gibbs, relating to Bubs, relating to Spice, all the characters of Mosaic Team 5, and eventually Peep, once people unlock enough of them. Those will all be available for you to use anywhere on Twitch. And then finally, we have a website, alberonrpg.com. It has a lot of stuff on it. It has a whole bunch of information about this campaign, about the other campaign. It has player biographies, it has character biographies, and then player pictures. It has links to every single session, both from Adventures in Alberon and Mosaic Team 5. That is alberonrpg.com. And now, finally, for the music that you are hearing, along with all the other sound effects that we are not making ourselves, like this lovely Western music here, we are using Sirenscape, which is a digital tool set that you could use to add music and sound effects to your game, your life, or to your really confused board meeting. And with that, I'm going to jump into our recap. Man, what great music here. But I'm going to cut to our
Oh my god, I
song.
found more glitter.
Oh my god.
I feel like that's going to happen
Guys.
for so long.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a crack in my screen. It's like, wait a second.
If you weren't here last week, first of all, you can go back on our YouTube or in the VODs and check out our fairy-themed party. There is glitter in my house everywhere. Glitter. I have done extra laundry. The guest bedroom that you stayed in.
I'm so sorry.
Glitter everywhere. Yeah, the whole house, but neither here nor there. This is our
Everywhere.
recap. Mosaic Team 5. Last that we played, you all watched the bronzed, half-naked figure of Bastion exit your house into a Jacinto van and drive away. As you watched Echo, I believe, it was you that put the tracking device on Bastion. And with this small device embedded somewhere on his person, or I believe on Deng's person actually, you were able to track his movements to the spaceport. You all pursued. Managing to, well, actually, Echo, you mostly pursued, as you can run far faster than everybody else. You managed to locate his belongings, waited for the rest of the group to arrive, upon which time you all entered your ship and began the interrogation of one Red, this mobster, mid-level mob boss who had been running the Magenta Fox Casino. You decided, after interrogating him after some time and learning that Spice has a tremendous amount of debt, perhaps not generated by herself, but still, nevertheless, outstanding and in her name, and this debt had been parceled out to several other organized criminals who would come and collect at various times. After learning this fact, you decided that you would leave Red on board your ship with Ify, the intern that was provided for all of you through a generous donation from Ari. They are now staying aboard your ship, waiting for the next step in your still somewhat vague plan. You returned with Echo calling their contact, which ended up being William the Pleaser. And then
Hell
one
yeah.
by one,
That was dope.
yeah, one by one, you all managed to find some amount of sleep. Bubs, you had an early class. You demanded a tutor before leaving, eating Peep's breakfast on the way out.
Classic.
Gibbs, you created a large breakfast for everybody and then grabbed only a waffle as you decided to head out on your way with Spice to attend to some early preparatory preparatory tasks for your evening ahead. Shade and Echo, for your part, you went to talk to the owner of the Grey
After I
Ghost
got
Bay
fired.
Lockout team. Yes, sorry. I forgot that you got fired and sent
Yeah.
home in only your short shorts. After that,
I
you
didn't
all
forget
went.
that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
Yeah,
except for
no one.
After that, you all went to meet with the owner of the Grey Ghost team and negotiated terms to be able to participate in the tournament that you and Gibbs had found a poster to. This Bay Lockout tournament being hosted by Terra Mater, the laboratory that through Gibbs's spell you had all learned Dr. Maldross to be taking refuge in. You agreed to practice tomorrow morning, Saturday, the same day that you were to have Kevin's party.
Fucked up.
Gibbs and Spice, you began your first dinner service with none other than your very first potential lockout rivals, now striding into the place, taking their seat, very obviously knowing the owner.
No, because I want to keep my job.
And that
like
is
your
where we'll be
thinking,
getting for
though.
this evening. You just poison them.
Give them food poisoning.
I don't want to
no.
fuck this one up, too.
I mean,
But like, it's not our real job, and also our real job is
sabotaging them so that we can get first place in the tournament and win the prize to go to the gala.
Well, isn't it not
Don't you
for
wanna go to the
another week?
gala?
Of course I do. It's going to be hosted at our restaurant, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's
it's
at Terra
it's like we're
Oh, is
invited
it?
to cater it.
Catering it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, potentially. So I guess we can't fuck this up. Sorry, the rules for the lockout tournament: we have to win to get to invited, or everyone's just by default invited.
Correct. The winning team is invited to a gala hosted by Terra Mater,
Oh, the
Dang.
where
winning
the
team.
award is going to be presented.
Dang.
And the prize.
But,
No, Ding's not there.
So, for the two of you,
Yes.
Spice, you behind the bar, Gibbs, you back in the
the
kitchen,
knives.
sharpening the very remains of your knife as you've been doing it aggressively for the entirety of this show.
Only because the
sound
soundtrack.
effects. Yeah. Well, you know what? In the future, knives they get dulled much quicker.
Yeah. Ah, that's
So-
true.
With the two of
gravity.
you in those spaces, you are separated only by a small wall, and there is a pass-through window so you can communicate. You can see Nadia kind of like touching the table, smiling, and then turning back to head over to the two of you. At this moment, I would say Nadia kind of turns because the door opens up. Give me just 1 second so I can pull up this part. All right. So Nadia is going to turn to see this door swing open, and Kara, who walks in?
Dressed in a very chic sundress with some like strappy sandals because those are back. Everyone knows that fashion is cyclical and it's come back again. This like Solari style strappy sandal that goes all the way up. Very in, very now. Hi, I'm Celia Sweet. I have a reservation to sit at the table right by that window over there, but I'm actually hoping that we can sit at that table over there. It has a little bit more natural light, and that would go really well for my photos.
You can see Nadia, like at this point, looks over. Both tables occupied, one by the Mango Mantis, the other by like this elderly man and probably his wife. She kind of just looks and goes, just please wait at the bar and we'll see what we can do. And she goes over and she looks at you, Spice, and she just gives you like this look, like take care of her. And she starts like running back over to the little window to where Gibbs is. And Gibbs, she runs over here and she just says, now Gibbs, these people are very important. And so we're going to do a menu for them. I know this is your first time working at the restaurant, but I have faith in you. So she
That's all I need.
she pulls out this data tablet. You can see and like presses the button, and this little list of ingredients comes flying up. And you can see that there are 5 dishes that she's going to have you make.
Okay.
And she begins to talk, but as this other individual, the person that Kara mentioned, begins to kind of like walk up and just goes, excuse me, and like begins to talk, she just goes, I'll come into the kitchen and help you. And she like runs around and goes, Spice, please take care of this one.
Sure.
And so Spice, this influencer who is dressed very much in like, you know, late 2020s Solari style. I guess that would be like 1990s, really. What are you going to do? You see her walk up?
Immediately you notice that she's a Lashunta woman with some very lovely dyed green hair to match the dress.
Hell yeah.
Hi, I'm supposed to be sitting at a table, but they said it's not quite ready yet for me. Me and my partner Joe are hoping to get some drinks.
Of course. What can I get for you? And she hands you a menu.
She doesn't even really look at the menu. She's like, whatever you think would be best for like an opening course. Something that would go really fab on my Insta. Or whatever is Insta.
Hell yeah.
Vizio.
Oh my god, yeah, wait, Vizio, what's Visco?
Visco pages?
Visco, yeah, my younger sister uses Visco.
Oh.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that
It's
is.
like this. I'm not even
Wait, this
pretend
is
I
real
really
life
get it.
now?
No, this is a
Okay.
real
Yeah.
thing that you attach to your Instagram page. I'm not even fucking sure, but
Oh my God.
I know what you're talking
I've
about.
I've seen that thing. It's like a link that people have.
Yeah.
Snapchat.
No.
So anyways, on
Facebook.
Friendster.
Yeah, I'm on the Facebook.
So no problem.
Faces.
You hear this. Spice, you know that the first dish, based on kind of what Nadia had gone over, is almost always some kind of a soup. Something that is relatively salty, typically, to sort of whet the appetite for whatever's going to come next, which is usually much more refreshing.
Okay.
So knowing that, what are you going to make for a drink? Alternatively, if you want, you can make a sense motive check and try to like read more into what this person is trying to do.
Peanut slurry.
Olive is not a good chef by any means, so I'm gonna go down the sense motive route because I don't even know what's gonna pair nice with salty. Sweet? I don't know.
Just water.
All right, this is the first time I'm rolling with the new dice. Let's see what we get. Please be a 20.
I don't know if it's on camera or not.
Natural. These are kind of a little hard to read. I can't. Is this
a 19.
11 or?
It's like a magic 8 ball.
Oh,
The
it's a
answer
natural
just changes.
19. Nice. I love that you could like see it, and I'm like, I can't see.
Oh, it's because mine are tiny.
All right, and then sense motive is going to be a 27.
Okay. So with the 27, you kind of like peek down and you can see in the hand of this person on their communicator, they are looking at like fancy drinks kind of thing. And what drink is this person looking at right now that they're like really secretly hoping for?
Celia doesn't actually know what she wants,
Gotcha.
but there's been this rash of like really bougie gin and tonics with like additives in it, so it's mostly like frozen fruit in a cocktail glass with like fancy colors.
Nice. Okay, so Spice is like gonna look at your outfit that's like green, and she's gonna go, I think I know what to do for you. And she's going to whip up a fruity cocktail that is going to present nicely, and it's gonna be a little bit green, and it's gonna be the color of your dress. So if you
Fantastic.
take a selfie, it's gonna match nicely.
You notice that like when it's like slid over the counter to her, she kind of like pauses, and definitely with that high sense motive, you're just like, oh my god, this is more than what I've asked for. This is great. But she's trying not to show it and be like very
Okay.
cool. And she's like, oh, that's interesting. I like that one. And then you see she just like whips her communicator out and is instantly taking like way too many selfies with
It
it.
has one of those like additional camera lenses that you
Yeah,
can get to
that, like
attach to
pops
it.
on the back. Yeah.
Of course. No problem. So as this is happening, all of a sudden Gibbs in the back, you're seeing like little like snaps of light go off. But you have to concentrate because the first course is this miso soup. And Nadia comes over and she says, the first thing you need to do is you need to get the bonita flake dashi, and she pulls everything out and she like mixes a bunch of things together and she shows you how to do it. But the very last step, as she like goes to show you, she says, this is the most important thing. This is the starter. This is koji. This is fermented material that comes from Earth, where I'm from. We've been raising this for generations. And then all of a sudden you hear this little ting, 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 as like the door opens up. And she like whips around, and Dan, I'm going to have you describe who comes in next. But in this moment, she turns back to you.
What are you fucking talking about? This is weird. What is
She
going
whips
on?
back to you, and she just goes, I need to see who that
Fucking
is.
rush hour, baby.
Yeah, it's cute.
What?
Just take this and smell it, and you'll know what to do with it. I trust you. And she like thrusts this little ceramic dish full of something that is like the color of tar into your hands, and she dashes back. You see Spice Nadia just like run by you. She peers over at this person who's like ching 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 ching, like taking pictures of the drink, and she just seems like nod approvingly and rushes over.
Nice.
But what I will say for you, Gibbs, is go ahead and as you take this dish, and you take a deep sniff and you smell this salty, tangy scent, go ahead and make a mysticism check.
Mystical tar stuff.
14 plus 12 is 26.
The dice are looking good tonight.
12, 14.
Mystical fermented rice.
As you are smelling this, your mouth waters, your little Yosoki mouth, like the thin lips, suddenly drool comes down. And as hard as you are trying to keep clean, almost instinctively, it's like the little bits of like rotten mold like into your fur because you're just so excited. And then all at once, there is this like, you have to close your eyes to enjoy this. And you know, like in Ratatouille at the beginning, where there's those like pops of color and everything. At first, it's kind of like that. There's these like little weak pulses of light in this darkness. And then you sense all of a sudden the sound of cooking and the sound of quiet chatter die around you. And you are just seeing darkness. And you open your eyes and you see these little pulses of light. And for a moment, they are uncomfortable because you remember the last time you saw this, just drifting end over end over end, wildly out of control, plummeting through the drift towards these clouds. A similar, almost luminous light goes from these dull pulses to this brightness. And then it begins to feel a little bit more controlled. And as it begins to feel more controlled, and you stop feeling like you're spinning and more like you're traveling, it isn't so much that you are lost or out of place. And you remember before feeling the sensation of there being just this empty vastness, but all at once the power that comes with that. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, by you, there is dozens of stars that explode past. Like you're traveling rapidly through space. You see them explode into the sky. The same sense that tells you that certain mold found in garbage might be good for an eye infection tells you that it isn't dozens. In this moment, with that mysticism check, it is 179 stars that expand across the sky here, a very specific number. And as the stars begin to slow, no longer exploding, but almost now finding their resting place here in the night sky, they freeze. And about a third of them, and with that mysticism check, 29, right? You said?
12 plus 14 is 24.
24.
26.
26.
Sorry,
Okay.
I can't do math.
No, that's important. It isn't a third of them. It is 56 of them. They shift and get larger, and they begin to cool. Some of them, although the colors change. One of them becomes almost like a swirling green, the color of the dress of the Lashunta that is taking pictures at Spice's bar. You see another one, swirling blue. You recognize that these are planets, though you cannot see them clearly. And some of the planets swirl by you, some small, some gaseous, and then one with massive clusters of rings that you spiral through, 10 thick, 10 thin, 10 wide, and then 9 narrow, but all of them all clustered together, no matter how they appear. And then, all at once, you could hear just like the sounds of the kitchen again. You hear like the sounds of like selfies, and that smell, as delicious as it is and as inviting as it is just that smell again.
Wait, whoa, back it up, Joe. Back it up.
That was an adventure.
Yeah, not what I was expecting.
Is that what happens when you cook? I haven't even gotten to the
Wait,
mysticism
holy
part yet.
shit.
I'll have what she's having.
You know what? I feel like I didn't know the importance of that moment until now it's gone. But that's okay, because Gibbs also doesn't know it.
That's like
feel good.
Kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. How much of the paste is in this little dish I have?
It is like I would say maybe like an ounce of it, a very small amount. It's like the I would say like in terms of size. Yeah, it's hard to like. It's like a clove of garlic worth.
Fuck, that's not very much. Okay. Did she get it from somewhere? Is there a larger receptacle?
Make a perception check. You look around this gleaming stainless steel
5-gallon jug of
kitchen.
it.
19 plus 12 is 20, 32.
Wow.
You don't see anything. This is like a beautiful, gleaming stainless steel kitchen. But, Gibbs, you close your eyes and you use your Yosoki senses and you smell. And as you do, instantly, your like brain tells you spices over here, vegetables over here. You can navigate, and then you smell this like sweet, sour tang. And then near the most, that's just the garbage, but then right next to it, there is like a little mini fridge, like a low boy. And then as you walk over and pop this open, there's this little, it's like a, it's not super cold, it's just a little bit below room temperature. But there are all these little clay pots in there. And some of them are ancient. Like you can see little cracks that have been mended with these little, what looks almost like strips of gold to put them back together. But these are clearly super old, and around the tops of them on these little clay pots, sealed with some kind of wax or gum, there's like the crusty old parts of like what looks almost like a soy or something like that. This is definitely where the cultures are kept.
Okay. Alright. Cool. I tuck that knowledge away in my brain, I shut the fridge, and I get to... Out of the vision that I had, do I know what I'm supposed to do with this paste? Am I just supposed to like gently mix it in?
Yeah.
Or... Okay, cool. Then I finish the miso dish bowl soup.
No problem. The miso soup you finish up. And you kind of like put it up on the counter just as Nadia goes over and opens the door. Dan,
Yep.
who is it that walks in?
The character name is Dawn Gorsick. If you guys ever seen
This is so much more than I already asked for.
seen the documentary Super Size Me,
Okay.
the character who eats, or the person who eats a Big Mac a day.
Yeah.
He's like 6'4". He has like a Ringo Starr kind of bowl cut, thick wire rim glasses. On his shirt says, "Yes, I would like fries with that." And he's basically a competitive eater. Very much like a thin guy, but like he knows like how to like push the limits of his stomach. He's a human, and he's like coming to this place as a vacation, but also to train.
Okay.
So he's gonna walk in. I'd like very much a table for one, but please have a lot of space because I need a little breathing room. And he's going to tap his stomach as he says that.
So Matthew McConaughey with a bowl cut walks in, which is amazing, first of all.
Fantastic.
Nadia comes up to you and immediately says, "I'm so sorry. We have a bit of a long wait for a table, but can I offer you a seat at the bar?" And you look over, there are 3 empty seats, and then this person taking pictures still of their drink.
Well, I'm a little bit of a celebrity, but I assume that would be good enough in this establishment for someone like me.
Of course. And she smiles and doesn't seem to know who you are, but no problem. She
Many
comes
people
over, guides you over, and just like deposits you over right in front of Spice.
Miss, before you leave,
Yes.
I have a small request. I would like 1 cup of water with lukewarm water. I would like 1 cup of water with ice tepid, cold water, and then 1 cup of water with just ice in it.
One cup of water with just ice in it.
I mean,
Just a
technically
moment.
it's still water.
No.
She runs over to the table, to like the window. Before she can get there, she like stops, runs back over to you, Spice, and just goes, "Get him 1 cup of warm water, just room temperature. 1 cup
heard
of
it with
cold
my
water.
mind.
That's okay, excellent." And she runs over, comes up to you. She takes the soup and she says, "This smells marvelous. Great work, Gibbs. Not Gibbs.
Delilah.
Delilah. Great work,
Dee Dee.
Delilah." Okay, the next thing
on
that
to
you're
us.
going to do, it's almost all finished. So all you need to do is just add oil. But there is a salad, and she like tells you about this next course. Very easy to make. After that, she tells you just the next one is a little bit more involved, and I'm glad that you understood the koji because there's something more advanced that I want to use. But I'll be right back. And she like runs back to the door because at that moment it is opening yet again. This restaurant now almost completely at capacity. Matt, who walks in?
It's like a salamander fishman kind of hybrid, but like surfer dude. Kind of looks like a beach bum, like might have just wandered in from the streets, and he just walks in and is kind of just like looking around like this. It's like, oh.
Can I help you? There's a bit of a wait.
Yeah, my agent said that I should come here tonight, said that there's a reservation for me.
What is your name?
My name or my agent?
Whichever the reservations.
I don't know. My agent's name is Hank.
You can see she like looks at you, kind of like looks into your eyes for a minute, and then she says, "Yes, we have a table for you over at the bar."
Did he send over my my list?
No, we don't have any of
The
this.
allergies?
What allergies do you have? I'll tell the kitchen.
I'll have him send over the list. It's pretty long.
Gibbs, at this moment, ding, there's this like beep in the kitchen, and you look over and you see, you've seen this a few times. This is like the little thing where allergies kind of come in. And generally speaking, it is like one line. You've seen once 2 lines when it was somebody who was like gluten-free, they were vegetarian, they were lactose intolerant. It just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. Every single allergy that could be checked off is, and then all of a sudden, blue little lines start coming up for where it's like the add your own, and there is almost as many of those. Like you've never heard of somebody being allergic to zinc under a certain part per million and over a certain part per million, but there's like a certain part per million where it's like a sweet spot, and that's okay, unless of course there's any like sodium in the dish, and then it's not. But like this is the most intense list you've ever seen. And that is also including as a medical officer for a ship that has several aliens on board.
I'm like, what the fuck are these? Arachnid eggs? Who's tried arachnid eggs to find out that they're allergic to it?
Yeah, who is trying paint thinner? And also, why is it only a mild allergy? But no problem. You kind of see that. You look through the window, you see this like fish person, and you're like, all right, you know what? Sure, that makes sense. But no problem. At this point, she runs back to you and she's like, we're really busy. But the next thing that I want you to do is funazushi. Have you ever done this before?
Only in our prep session that we had the other day.
Okay, this is the thing that is like, it's where sushi comes from. And she shows you again, this is very much, no, so this is like pre-sushi for like real life stuff.
It's
me! Funazushi is the predecessor to actual sushi.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And so what it is it's just like a fermented fish that is thinly sliced, drizzled with mirin. And what she kind of says is she like pulls these all and like helps you put everything together. Now what I want you to do is bring this to the table. Okay. And then very gently pour just a small amount of this hot oil and the fish will curl back. But if too much will ruin the dish and too little we won't get the effect. This is really important, Gibbs, and my hands can't do this anymore. So I'm counting on you. And she like softly hands the dish back to you. Get out there. She like opens the door.
Which table am I going to? Is it the one with the mango mantises?
Oh yeah.
All right.
And so you have 5 of these dishes, and as you walk over,
5. Whoa, 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 whoa.
yeah. For a second, you put down your knife for the first time today.
You're holding one up with your tail.
Yeah, for sure. One on top of my head.
And so you can see there are 5 people who are sitting at this table. One of them seems to be a Lashunta with cream-colored skin, and you can see it looks like they almost have ivory stars across their cheeks because of this patterning that's coming out. You see sort of this was somebody that was kind of unfamiliar to you. This is a Dralic, pale green skin. They have like these little gills that are open and constantly kind of along the side of their neck.
You introduced them last game.
Yes, yeah. So is this group?
I'm missing one. There's a Farron and a human, and who's the last one?
There's 2 humans. So there's a
two humans times
29-year-old male human and a 40-year-old female human, about 5 feet tall, streak of gray through the hair.
Nice.
And this is the mango
Mantises.
Mantids.
I kind of pass Spice and kind of give her a look, and I think, oh man, I wish this was Spice doing this right now.
And at this point, Matt, what is your character ordering from the bar? Given your allergies.
Do you have any beer that doesn't have wheat or barley or hops?
Of course.
Cool.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
You got it. I assume we have that.
No. Beer. It's either wheat, barley, or hops. Almost entirely. You could have a cider, but yeah, not without those things would be a cider.
Of course we have ciders. Is that what you would like?
Is it apple cider?
It's like apple cider with alcohol in it.
What?
Do you want to taste a little bit?
You sure want to ask that? Yeah. If it's not apples, because I'm pretty allergic to some apples. Most apples.
Would Spice have the list of allergies by her bar?
I would say probably not. This comes to the kitchen. The other thing is, so the 2 of you, Dan and Kara, your characters are also here, so you're welcome to interact at any point during this conversation.
Oh, his, as I walk by my dishes, just take a peek through the window. I've got his pulled up.
Okay.
Maybe you can find a liquid that has
Oh, cool.
nothing in
Hank
it.
sent them over?
Yeah.
He's pretty cool. He's a good guy. I like
It
him.
is so cool.
I bet you're good too. You seem like a nice person. You do too, but yeah.
Okay, so can I look at my list of ingredients that I can make a cocktail that wouldn't have something on the allergy list?
Sure. Given your background, go ahead and make a culture check.
Okay.
The other thing that is going to happen as you're doing that, Gibbs, you tell Spice this and walk over to the table. As you do, the Lashunta gestures over to you and goes, "The food has been fantastic. Compliments to the chef." With your chef coat on and everything.
I got the hat too.
Yeah.
It's
but
very cute.
Clearly oblivious to that fact. But you bring this food over, you put it down on the table. Make a sleight of hand check for this if you want to pour this, unless there's a different way that you wish to do this.
Shit.
Shit.
Okay.
Shit.
Can I, as I'm passing Spice, I think, man, I wish Spice was the one doing this.
Is there...
But I sort of
Do you
take
say
it.
that out loud?
No, it's an internal dialogue.
Okay.
Because I need to be better than I am, but I can't do that because I'm just me. And I realize that what I'm being asked for is showmanship. And so upon their invitation, I will be like, Mango Mantises, I'm so excited. I'm such a big fan. I can't wait to see you guys in the tournament.
So the one who was kind of leading the conversation, this guy just goes, "Oh, most are big fans. Would you like an autograph?" He kind of whips out this Sharpie that he has ready to go.
Absolutely.
He goes over and just right across your jacket.
Beautiful.
Just right across. Yeah.
Whoa,
No
are those
problem.
the mango mantises?
They're here.
And I would like to do the thing with diplomacy, making a show of it. And so hoping if I fuck it up, my charisma will pull me through.
Make a diplomacy check.
Yes! Fuck yes!
Celia's in the corner, taking some subtle photos of the mango mantises and just being like, here now.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Sweet communicator.
18.
18. Okay. So go ahead and make a sleight of hand check now. You very charmingly make your way over
Nice.
to the table.
Yes! Yes! 17. My dex is +1, but I got a 16, so it's 17.
No
so I'm
problem.
thrilled.
They scrawl across like your chef's jacket, and you're like, cool. You very gently sort of take this out, and it does. Your hand does waver as this person like pushes you a little bit, but gently enough, you're able to put a little bit of this hot oil onto the fish, and as it hits, there's a very light. And as it like sizzles a tiny bit, the fish curls over backwards, almost like a whale's tail. And now it kind of like sits perfectly balanced on the bed of rice, and you've successfully completed this dish.
Way to
You
go.
feel pretty good.
I feel
the
really good.
lick, you can see like the gills all like suck in air excitedly, and he just goes, "Oh, that looks amazing!" And he just dives in with his hands, and you can see this Lashunta just goes, "Oh, Renthon, we've talked about this. Manners. I'm so sorry about this."
Please, it's a compliment that
you
he's
see
so
this-
excited.
It's like coming out of the gills as he like shovels it into his mouth. And it's disgusting.
I'm not at all offended because I eat like that.
Everybody else doesn't seem to have a problem with
Yeah.
it. They're just like eating, no
I'm cool with
problem.
it.
And then at the very end, he's like, and just like what dabs at the gills
Nice.
and just goes, "It was excellent."
Oh, thank you.
Nadia, you can see like over there is like waving for you to come back.
I beam at her and then I walk over.
Okay. So
Do I still have the hot oil container? Do
Yes,
I take
you
that
do.
with me?
Yeah,
cool.
no problem.
Can I just put that in my pocket?
yeah, sure. You could add essentially a gravy boat to your inventory.
Nice.
That's how I imagine that. So at this moment, influencer, competitive eater, allergy boy, is there anything that you are all
Oh, that was the titles you gave?
No. I want you guys to be very clear about what I told the three of them.
Oh, yeah, please.
All I said was, you're gonna be a customer at this restaurant at some point. And like, sort of don't be super easy, but also don't be super hard.
Yeah.
That's the only guidance that I
Don't be
have.
super hard, Matt. Yeah, what the fuck?
I was told have a lot of allergies.
Oh yeah,
and
you're the
don't-
last person though, that's
Don't
why.
start any combat.
Yeah.
Don't start any what?
Combat.
Yes. That was,
I'm gonna turn to Celia Sweet. I think I've recognized you. Are you in the circuit?
Well, it depends on what circuit. And she kind of like gives you the bitchy look up and down.
Well, the competitive eating circuit, but no, I think I know you. You're an influencer, aren't you?
Guilty. Yes. Oh my gosh, and you are?
Oh, my name is Don Gorski, competitive eater.
Oh
And then-
shit, bro! I thought you were dog.
I'm gonna lift up my shirt, and it's
Oh,
like a
man.
WWE belt.
Oh,
God.
sick, bro.
And on each little notch, there's like a little subsection, and just right now it just says appetizers.
Oh,
And he high
this guy's
fives the
fucking
surfer guy.
famous.
Celia's like very much just paying attention to her communicator and posting a reel of the mango mantises receiving the course from Gibbs.
oh yeah.
And also just like has a little bit of the like puking emoji because the guy's
Did you eat so many hot dogs in one sitting, bro?
I think the
That was
secret
revelation,
is
man.
very much using the 3 glasses of water in conjunction. You see, the first glass of water is to expand the stomach, and the second glass of water is for dipping, and the third glass, well, that's a secret.
Bro,
And he's gonna wink at you.
that
Spice.
is so wise.
Do you want water?
He's allergic to water.
Well, okay, so for the
think I
culture
can do
check, I
that.
got a 25.
Okay. So you take a look at all of the ingredients that you have, and through process of elimination, essentially what this guy is drinking, he can't drink vodka, and has potatoes in it, right? So you go like, all right, gin, like anything that is related to some kind of like a botanical, can't have. Not gin. Okay.
Crossed out.
What else do we have? Eventually, weirdly enough, the one thing that's okay for this guy to have, like tequila. There's nothing in
nice.
it. And so you just like, tequila, you find a couple of other weird like alien mixers. You're not sure what this is going to taste like, but you slide it across.
Well,
And-
can't you do that thing that bartenders do? They like put a little straw and taste it to make sure it's okay.
Sure, if you want to.
Yeah.
Nice thought.
So you go in there, you put your finger on the top of the straw to like seal the liquid in, and you taste it. And as you do, it is almost like you've managed to disguise some of the bite to this tequila. It's still very much like tequila, but it's not bad.
Okay. So she's going to slide that across the bar and be like, something special just for you. I hope you like it.
Oh, thanks.
And then also
Really
drop down the
appreciate
3, or all the water glasses and the ice cup in front of you.
Okay, he's gonna place them in a specific order. Ice cup, warm water, cold water.
We're about
and
to
3.
see a master at work.
Celia,
Take notes on the
Celia finally takes a sip of her drink and she's like, it's a little watery. Do you think I could get another one, but this time could the ice be on the bottom?
You see this like teenage Lashunta who's just like, is this where the green drinks are? And Nadia is just like, no, we're full at the moment. And she like pushes, and as she pushes this person out, you see there's like 30 people lined up outside this door. And you hear from out there like, is there a competition tonight? And then just like everybody now, after Celia's sent out this social media message, now all of a sudden there are tons of people. And you can see there is first a smile on Nadia's face, but then she cranes her neck and it falters a little bit. And she just like runs back over and she's like, oh, Delilah.
Oh my goodness.
Stop sharpening your knife.
Oh my god. Oh shit, I gotta get the food out.
We have to do this pork belly. So we did a little bit of a kakuni yesterday, but this is different. She takes out this big chunk of pork belly. She takes out some cabbage, some pickled green beans, and as you smell them, there is something like so inviting about them. There is this element of Japanese mustard. And she takes the Japanese mustard, she gives it to you, and she says, now, this powder, I want you to spread this across the pork belly, bring this out to the table, and then crisp it up with this torch. And she hands you a blowtorch. Please be careful with the torch. No.
Oh.
Delilah, be careful with the torch. The trick with this is to smell the mustard and know when it's done. Too long and it would be too bitter. Not enough and it's just eating powder. So go on. And she kind of like shoos you through the door. You get pushed out. The dining room is very busy. There's like 3 or 4 people now standing in the doorway. Everybody with their communicators is like not that subtly taking pictures of like what essentially is like 3 pseudo celebrities who have showed up at this bar for opening. And you kind of like see the door open again. There are people looking in the windows. It is quite crowded now. But you walk out and all eyes feel like they turn to you. Pictures through the windows, through the door.
Spice is like making a point to like, as you're making drinks, shaking and stuff, she's like posing.
Oh yeah, sure. Go
She's
ahead.
like working it.
Make and I'm forgetting right now. Performance, is that something we have here?
I don't think that's a.
I believe it would be
Disguise?
bluff.
Diplomacy.
Oh my god, I would love to take a bluff check. If I could do a
would
bluff
say
check.
give me diplomacy. This isn't bluff.
Okay. Well, that's okay too. Which dice do I want to use? I'm going to use this one now. Okay, natty 17. Let's see. So that's going to be a 29.
29.
29.
So Gibbs, this time as you like enter in, you can see Spice has and Spice, who for her part has mostly just like mixed Coke with various other spirits, really has the bottles like flying over the back of her hand. There's like a point where she like throws it up, grabs another one, like mixes the drink. She goes over to grab another bottle, happens to catch that bottle. Is like, oh right, and like keeps making drinks.
Doesn't
it is the
even look
most
away.
amazing show, and you knowing Spice the way that you do can tell it is entirely. This is the most chaotic display to anybody on the outside. This is poetry in motion. To you, yeah, the whole table is like in rapture. There's like pictures going off. Suddenly the eyes are off. You feel a little bit better, and you approach this this table now with your pork belly, this powder, and the torch. As you go up, and if there's nothing else that you want to do, go ahead and make a perception check to try to smell the correct point for this.
Hold on, because I have a plus if it's a smell-based thing.
It
because
is a
I'm
smell-based thing, yeah,
thing.
you're a
What's it
soaking.
called?
It's keen senses in D&D, but I don't know what it is for Starfinder.
So what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Well, I like to surf.
I don't know what it is, so.
I like to hang out with the bros.
Uh-huh.
I do whatever my agent tells me I have to go
14.
do when I'm not
14.
surfing.
Okay.
Oh my god, you have an agent?
I have a theme
Yeah,
benefit.
it's kind of new
Okay.
because like I kind of got into a bunch
that
of
I
money.
specialize in
Have you heard of
tricking,
NFTs?
integrating myself using my force of personality. Sorry.
Street rat?
Grifter.
So you want a grifter. Okay.
No, tell me more.
I want a grifter to try and
NFTs,
make it part of the show.
Make it a
Buy
piece.
expensive art with those.
Yeah, so I actually I got a couple as a joke with some of my friends, and then they got really valuable. So now I'm pretty wealthy.
28.
Sick. I love that.
For you, Gibbs, you go out there, you take this torch, you turn it on, and you kind of look at Spice. Spice throwing glass around, whatever. You see this powder, you have this torch in your hands, and you're like, cool. You throw the powder out across this pork belly, and it. This big explosion of fire, this smell of burning mustard. You can see the Dralic, the few eyebrows that he has singed, and he just goes, wow!
Whoa!
You can see this other guy, this Lashunta just goes, whoa!
Fire in
That
the
was
hole,
impressive.
dude!
And everybody just claps. There's pictures being taken. You could go, you kind of nod and go back to the kitchen, and Nadia just goes, you completely messed that up, but everybody seemed to enjoy it. So
That was awesome.
you just see this surfer fish person just wave at you as you go by.
As she's about to enter the kitchen,
Yeah.
I would just like to stop her and say, Miss, I would like a round of appetizers for me and my 2 new friends here. And
Oh, that's really
if you could put-
of you, my friend.
extra garnishes for me, I very much enjoy the extra garnishes.
He's a professional, like you.
You got
Both
it.
professionals, and I appreciate that.
Celia's taken another reel of the giant explosion of fire, and earlier you had me roll a sleight of hand check, and I rolled a nat 20.
Ooh.
That's true.
Celia puts one of those curly Q fonts on and has it going across the corner. The chef here is amazing,
Okay.
and has definitely gotten Gibbs in the photo.
So all of a sudden, so that happens. All of a sudden, over the course of maybe the last 5 minutes or so, the door opens up again. You can hear somebody else just go, I heard the food here was pretty good. And as you look out now, the line stretches well past the point where you can see and now hooks around the corner, seems to be extending around the restaurant. This is rapidly growing almost out of control at this point. But you do hear a lot of people talking about the food, the chef. And as you look out the door, you can see as everybody pulls up their communicator on 30 different communicator screens, you see this explosion of fire. This is becoming the least low profile undercover work that anybody has ever done.
Great. It's fun. It's good.
I go up to
It's
the
good for
window really
Nadia.
briefly, and I give that subtle look of when there's a creep nearby that every girl knows, and I just do that big eyebrow oh to Spice, and then I go back to normal. I'm okay, but there's you definitely see that there's panic. There's
Spice obviously loves attention, so she's doesn't quite understand what you're
Gives more of a wallflower, but
So it's I need to take more attention off Gibbs. And just starts doing even more stuff.
lighting some of the tequila or whatever on fire, so it lights up a little bit.
my
as it
God,
goes into the air.
this is
You're a professional too.
Yeah.
Sweet. There's
So you can
many
see Spice takes the
professionals,
sugar
yeah. I can
cube
see
and lights it
why.
on fire and pours something through that, and then you can see the color changing flame go across a cocktail. All kinds of cool stuff from Spice. Yeah.
I would like to say, because you ordered drinks with ice on the bottom. So I've been thinking about that. And so what Spice is going to do is she's going to get a tall and skinny glass, and she's going to put the ice in, but then she's going to find some decorative rocks or something, and she's going to put them in the cooler so they stay frozen. But then she's going to pull them out then put them on top of the ice so the ice stays way down,
Smart.
and then make the rest of the green drink for you.
Very nice.
then slide it over.
And so, being very clever with this, you figure out a way to actually accommodate. This is like somebody saying, "Hey, go get some blinker fluid." And you return with blinker fluid, and you can see this person's like taken aback somehow that you managed to do this impossible task. And I will say, with that, you can bypass your final check of this particular evening, and for the remainder of this evening, you create these beautiful cocktails. There's showmanship that certainly gets you a lot of attention. At one point, I would say you do see a message come up from Peep, and it is just like a clip from like a social media site, and it's
Celia.
and it's definitely the one of Gibbs like making this big fire. Gibbs, as you complete this kind of like omakase and you put together what is the easiest dish, just like a bread pudding. You go ahead and make a, we'll call this a sleight of hand check.
For
And,
what?
or actually-
So I can talk my way out of it.
Okay.
Tell me what I'm doing so I can tell you I'm not doing it. Just kidding, DM.
What this is a check essentially for you. Are you trained in culture? I always forget.
Yes, I am.
Okay. If you would like, this can be a culture check.
I would prefer.
I would also say, if you have some way of using your mysticism to do this, this is a check to see how the rest of your cooking goes for the evening.
Yeah, having started the evening with I have a perceived connection, and she told me like this is from Earth, and I had a vision, and that like started my evening, and I had to sort of like keep it under wraps to keep like the social stuff in check.
Sure.
But now that I'm back in the kitchen and don't have that interruption, I want to find my flow state,
Okay.
which for Gibbs, it's a little chaotic and a little messy, but it's purely intuition, and so it's less of like following Nadia's instructions and more like what is the Gibbs take.
Make a perception check.
You can't be mysticism.
This is perception. You're getting a -4 to the DC. I believe that is
Nice.
what your feature does.
14.
14. Okay. Over the course of the evening, it is certainly chaotic. In this gleaming stainless steel kitchen, you are about as out of your element as like a rat in a kitchen. But as you begin to really like put Nadia's instructions out of your mind and really kind of give in to what you've always done, which is really just following your heart, you're able to lean into that a little bit more. And though you're not necessarily putting out things that are on the menu or food, it does taste good. It's edible, looks relatively nice, and the chaos stays in the kitchen. It doesn't make its way on the plates. It doesn't like ruin anything. Nobody finds any hair. There's a couple times where you're like about to put a plate out and you can just see like a fingernail and you're like, almost wasted that.
Like, did you put that up in your mouth to eat it?
Yeah. Almost wasted that. It's like not your fingernail either, but
Right.
no problem.
Or like bug shells. Yeah. It's just like
one
the,
for me, one for you. But you sent it out, and over the course of the evening, Spice, you put on a tremendous show.
Thanks, bud.
Yay!
Oh, that's awesome. I
Come
can't
back
even
anytime.
drink it. That was
Cook a very good dinner for the Mango Mantis, but more importantly, for Nadia, this is beyond her wildest dreams. This is a night that is so successful for her. There is never a point in time from the beginning of service to the very end where you are ever stopping. You are just cooking, and all of a sudden, it is 1 a.m. The last people are walking out. The last person is walking out, and it would in fact be Dan, probably your character. I would assume.
Yeah.
Everybody else like tries to hang in, and it's just Dan. Like Dan is like, or sorry, what was your? Is
I
Gustav?
think I would probably
Or
still
sick.
be there, but
Or
not
sick.
eating, just watching and be like,
Yeah.
this is a fucking master.
So it's probably the 3 of them at the very end of the night. They started the night, they end the night there. They're closing it out, probably a little tipsy, but no, just
See,
like
the belt
same exact.
says 5th meal.
Yeah.
And it's like notched a little bit, and it has like little LEDs on the belt, so it's like shining like 5, 5, 5, 5 in
Beautiful,
red.
beautiful.
We're
It gets
going
brighter
all
each
the way
course.
tonight.
Celia's just like passed out on the counter. She's
Yeah.
asleep.
No problem. And so, this is the kind of end of the night. And at this point, you feel weariness hit your body. You know, you've been bounty hunting and fighting dinosaurs and all this kind of stuff, but for all of that, being on your feet and like constantly moving like this just for 8 hours, this was tough.
Yeah.
And so for sure you find yourself very, very tired, but ultimately having a very successful first day at work.
At the
For the
end of
very
the
first
night, can I make 3 of the miso soups?
Sure.
And so, like, as we're sort of, like, winding down, I passed 2 over the window, 1 to Spice and 1 to Nadia.
Okay.
Spice like wipes the sweat with the back of her hand off of her brow.
That was tough.
That was amazing.
Oh my god. Nadia, congratulations.
Congratulations to both of you. This was... I wasn't expecting much, to be honest. I really thought this was kind of a way of breaking even, but we might actually be able to keep this place going.
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
She, like, takes you by one shoulder and you by the other, and she just goes, Delilah, Donna, I hope you never leave. And she just, like, gives you a big hug. And right about
I
there
guess we
is
like
where...
exchange a look like
Yeah, I, like, look at it,
under
like...
her arm.
And this is, like, the, like, cut to the back at the house.
Yeah.
So... for the rest of you, this is like Friday evening. Most of you coming back from either a really rough day at work or a final day at work or a really rough first day at school. Kind of depends on who you are. But for the rest of you, as Gibbs and Spice walk in at around 1 in the morning.
I don't eat my bowl of kanji fermented miso paste soup.
Sure.
I would like to... Koji.
Yeah.
Put it in my jar discreetly at a certain point.
Okay.
I
would say
pour
you
the
don't need to even do it really discreetly. You know, like if you had asked, Nadia would have just packed it up for you.
Oh, okay. Then I do
Yeah.
that, yeah.
No problem.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Before the scene where they all had to do the dinner and stuff,
Yeah.
and Bubs, I imagine he probably went home. He would probably text Kevin and just ask him for his notes for cellular biology.
For cellular biology? Sure.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check as you send that message.
Come on, Kevin. And then I'm gonna.
You've yanked his chain quite a bit. Now you're asking for notes.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Dude, still no party, no notes.
He knows the party's tomorrow.
No party, no notes.
I like that. What a cheat or what
Chet.
Chet.
You
His
get a
voice
message.
is rolled over onto Kevin's
And
voice.
it is from Kevin, and from Kevin it just says, "Yeah, I'll go over my notes with you tomorrow at the party."
Pew, pew, pew. Kev dog. I love him.
I hate Kevin so
I
much.
know you
Kevin is the new
You
villain.
get another message, and it just says, "By the way, I invited Tiffy. I hope that's okay."
I hate Tiffy. That's who I hate.
I've barely met Tiffy.
I already know.
Fucking Kevin, no!
It's your problem.
Oh, sorry, wrong sound. You just gotta. And it's just, is it okay?
I'm gonna text Kevin back. Yeah, that's totally fine. Bring your party.
Oh, I wasn't gonna bring anybody else, but I'll invite some other people. I don't have friends, but I can find some people.
And like Bubs just says
And he
party.
just sends you like a little.
Yeah.
It's like the in Snapchat how you have like that person that looks kind of like you, and it's just his version and your version, and it just says like friends.
Oh boy.
Oh, you got him. You have one friend.
So it says party, and then like the second message just says shoes.
For now.
And then Bubs is like trying to keep up because he's not like the fastest like texter, but Kevin is just like miles a minute. Okay. Sounds good. And then he's just gonna like put the phone down and like kind of touch his head and just be like, "Oh man, I never knew being like a real life like student would be so hard, like partying and like
You get
going to
another
class."
message from Kevin. Hey, Tiffy's roommate's gonna come too.
No. Oh my god.
What? It's a beach party. I don't know what's so bad.
The consequences of your actions.
You get another message from Kevin. Hey, Tiffy's roommate, her boyfriend is gonna bring the arm wrestling team. I hope that's okay. And then again,
Oh, Chet's
and it's
got it.
just at this point,
Yeah,
like,
Chad gets a text message while he's
quite a
at
few
the
people
bar.
are starting to get some messages.
Oh,
yeah.
sweet party!
Cecilia gets it.
Yeah, Celia also gets it.
At the bar, you're about to fall asleep for the first time, and there's like a little beep, and it's just a message not from Daniel Danielson. It's from your friend who's like, the weird new kid wants to go have a party, and the weird old kid is inviting everybody, and there's just, and you know the weird old kid is Trevor. Kevin, sorry.
Also known as Trevor, I suppose. Kevin Trevor.
He changed his last name
where
dramatically
is it?
freshman year. He was
I'm
like, "I
gonna
gotta be
text
cool."
the group chat, and I'm going to say, I hope you guys brought your party, and then same thing, message another line, pants for Saturday. Excited.
This is with Peep or without Peep?
Without Pete.
Okay.
My friend Kevin invited a few people, and then send.
No problem. All of you get this message from Bubs. I would say for the two of you, you get it like right as you're walking out. You're finally like able to check your communicator. First of all, you can see for both of you who have like any kind of notification set up for like the surrounding area, like viral is the place that you guys are working at. Hakashinomura is trending across, like the local area. When you leave, people are taking pictures. Like it's like a whole thing. Yeah.
She does like the queen wave as she like walks out of the bar.
And then you like, as you're scrolling through all this good news, you're like, man, we really helped out Nadia. It sucks that we're gonna have to abandon her after she just said we're like a family. Then you get this message from Daniel Danielson as well.
I walk with my like hand around Spice's hips.
Yeah,
Just,
we're like
arm in arm.
Yeah.
Hey, that was great teamwork. That
I
felt really
loved
good.
it. Yes, we killed it tonight.
I wish we could bring some of this home, like this energy. It feels so good.
We can. We're doing it.
Please, I have a question for you.
Lay it on me.
Do you wish Red was dead?
Interesting.
No one asked you yet, and you were there, and you have the most to lose.
Spice like obviously was like, ooh, that's a little bit above of a buzzkill, but like she's
I'll
like,
give
gonna
them the
try to
give
like
out.
bring it back up again. She goes, well, I just want anyone to die who hurts my buddy. So I hate Red, but also I know that you don't like torture.
I had an easy way out. He could have died already. With an opportunity, that's $1 million debt that could be knocked out. And I don't want you to change your answer just because you're talking to me. Seriously, do you want him dead?
Well, the thing with the $1 million is it's kind of small compared to the rest of it. It's only, a 20th. So at this point, I feel like killing one person, that's just gonna, someone else is gonna buy it at this point. I'm in so deep.
And you really have no idea?
I really have no idea.
Oh my god, I
don't know.
thought you were
I have
lying
some
about
thoughts.
that. Yeah.
I did steal money from a casino before I worked in a casino before I became a bounty hunter, and I'm not gonna lie, I cheated all the time. She flicks out an ace. I had to do what I had to do to get myself
Make us
back
let a
up.
hand check.
Okay.
I just like the idea. They're just being like, I cheat all the time.
Wasn't good at it.
Wait, that's a king.
It's actually the instructions card.
Yeah.
It tells you how to play poker.
Yeah, wait a sec. Let's see. Sleight of hand. No, 8.
You can see, I cheat all the time. Boom, cards all over the street. It's just 52 cards pick up. It's like laughter because there are people like videoing and taking
Oh,
pictures.
still? I would have had this conversation in private though.
It's just like, are you guys like taking this on your way home or like before you leave?
Before, as like on our way home or
Okay, yeah,
walking
you guys
home.
like getting like your stuff together.
Yeah.
No problem.
She just
But in the private. Yeah. I would be like, hey, you want to kill this guy in the middle of like
No way.
Instagram something?
Wow,
Celia's
who'd we
just following
kill?
it.
Right.
New chef, also a killer?
Hi.
I think it was like
Killer
a metaphor for how well they did.
They
Oh my
did
god, yes.
it.
Like
Got it.
posse.
I just wanted to ask because you were not in a place to have your voice heard at that point, and I wasn't in a place to listen to you either.
Fair.
So.
No, I hear you. And thank you for asking me. End of story, or long story short, I don't care what happens to Red at this point. I really don't. I want him dead because he hurt my bubby. And that's that.
Well, I hope you know that I will help you with this problem.
Thank you. She like squeezes your hand.
It was a little more begrudgingly when I thought you deserved the problem, but now that I understand, I'm here for you.
Thank you, Angel. She like kisses your forehead because you're so much further down than she is.
It's a long lean. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Fully half bent over.
Right. I give you a little bit of nose. It's probably like 6
cute.
inches. Yeah. It's adorable. Cool.
Is everyone like getting back to the house at this point?
Yeah.
As that's happening, I imagine I'm going over flashcards with Peep.
Okay.
And Bubs is just like trying to like guess things about organic chemistry. Oh, I know this one, Peep. That's the common housefly.
Yeah, Drosophila meganogaster. Good job.
Yeah.
Bubs, you actually might not need a tutor. I don't know why.
Oh no, I definitely need a tutor. I mean I didn't even take normal chemistry. How can I take organic chemistry?
Well, I mean, organic chemistry is just chemistry, Bubs. It's just chemistry of living things.
Well, you make it sound so simple, Peep. Did you go to school?
Yeah. How did you think I became a mission coordinator? You don't just walk into this job. You know, I'd be a bounty hunter if I did that.
Oh, yeah. Ouch. And then Bubs is like kind of get like a little embarrassed.
Anyways, let's go over the carbon-carbon covalent bonds next, okay?
Oh, yeah, okay. But also, you know, if for some reason I can't do this, I mean, I know like we talked about having Shade hack my grades, and, well, that is an option.
It's still probably the
Bubs,
best
we've
option.
talked about this. You don't need to pass. We're only going to be here for a couple weeks.
But
You're not even going to finish the class.
I know, but it's important that I don't know, I can, you know, put something up on the fridge for everyone to see.
That has very little
so
importance
cute.
to our mission.
Yeah, you can put anything you want up there. We have magnets back on the ship.
As you can see, like, on, like, it flashes to the ship, there's just, like, a bunch of, like, sticky notes that are just, like, please wash your hands before opening the fridge. Please do this.
Like, I'm sure they've figured out those sticky notes by now. Some of those have been up for a long time, it looks like.
Yeah, well, notes are very important to me, and so is organization. And just, like, you know, I think that the fridge is, like, you know, it's, like, a focal point for, like, everyone on the ship to, like, you know, understand knowledge with each other, because, like, you know, it's just so food is like love.
Well, Bubs, I'll tell you
I don't
what.
really know food is
I'll tell you what.
the language.
If you really want, I'll have Shade print out your grades after he hacks them, and then you could put them on the fridge.
Okay, that's oh, that'd be so great. And oh, make sure you
It's just like,
How does that work? Yeah.
I'm gonna turn to Shade. Shade, make sure you don't hack the grades of environmental sciences, Dr. Leaf?
Yes.
Of Dr. Leaf's in environmental science, because she's my teacher, and if you hack her, she'll know the grades are changed.
She's your advisor.
She's also my teacher for
Right.
environmental
Yeah.
science.
Shade is just
You heard him,
still
Shade.
just trying to
And
process
Shade,
everything.
remember, this is really important. Go ahead and make a sense motive check.
But it's not.
You see,
really,
you
right?
see, you see Peep just like give you a big wink.
I'm like, so it's not actually that important.
It's really important to some people, Shade.
It's important to Bub's fragile
10.
ego.
Yeah.
You don't see people
Yeah.
with this big.
But from the conversation, hey, it is important, Peep. Though, are you gonna help my grades or not?
Probably not,
Well,
realistically.
I'll be helping your grades by
Shade's gonna do it.
falsifying them for you, which then doesn't really make them your grades at that point because they're just letters on a page.
They're
If
more.
it makes you feel better, I'll do it.
They're more than just letters on a page.
No, they literally are just letters on a page.
They're a rite of passage. You wouldn't understand. When I talked to you in the mall, you said you don't even remember your childhood. You don't know what it's like to be in school where everyone doesn't know you and you feel like everyone's judging you when you're going down the halls and you just want to like fit in and be normal, but like you have no like hair on your body and everyone sees like the big birthmark scar on your face and like you don't know anyone, so like you sit with this one guy named Kevin and then he does all these things to like make you feel uncomfortable, but like it's like a friendly uncomfortable.
I thought that I could empathize with you up until the part about being bald and then everything after that.
Yeah, I think that really became kind of personal after a certain point there, Bubs. But
Yeah.
I feel like you're getting in a little too deep. We might need to pull you back a little bit.
Oh no, I can handle it. I actually kind of like, it's like a good anxiety, like an anxiety that keeps you alive.
Bubs, this is just an undercover. This isn't important in any way, shape, or form. And actually, now that Gibbs has figured out where this person is and we know about the lockout tournament, it matters even less. It would be good to have a backup way in because, you guys do the things that you do, but we seem to have a way in already.
Oh, all right, I think school would still be a good idea and have a way in for me, but I still think,
If I could make a recommendation, you should work on your piloting more.
Oh, I read the manual for piloting, and I don't think they, have like flashcards like these that I could print out and study for piloting.
I mean more practical training.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So, at this point, is there anything that people want to do before they go to sleep?
Given Squeak his late night walkies.
Okay.
I want to put the miso paste in my jar,
Okay.
and I'll only put half of it. I know it's watered down miso paste, but this is important. So when I put it in my jar, does it do anything?
So as you take this and you add it to your jar, it smells. It smells good. You add it in and it does its typical kind of sizzle. But whatever it was, that connection that you had, that message, the meaning has already been imparted to you, and you don't get anything additional.
I look up from my bed where I've been doing this, and I look at Shade and Echo. Hey guys, can you help me? Do you know anything about maybe like a galaxy or place with 179 stars with 56 of them? Yeah, I know. With
Running the
56 of them
background checks.
being really important, and then like there's some with blue and some with green, and maybe near the drift somewhere.
Make a flat. You know what? I'll say you're a mechanic. You specifically have been a pilot for some time. So what I would say is, Shade, go ahead and for me, make a piloting check.
Wow. Okay. That was
Would Echo
generous.
know anything about? From programming.
Well, it's not really from programming.
25.
25. When Gibbs says those things, you begin to kick on your exocortex, but you stop almost immediately. 179, and then 2 digits. And you want to ask, what are the last numbers? Because that sounds almost like coordinates.
Gibbs, were there other numbers?
Were there other numbers?
You remember
Okay.
that in the course of this vision,
Yeah.
when you had touched or smelled this koji, this fermented stuff from far away in Earth, you had seen 179 stars. You had seen 56 of these become planets.
Yeah.
And then you had passed through 10 thick rings, 10 thin, 10 wide, and 9 narrow, but all clustered together. When you put those numbers together, you get 39. 179, 56, 39. That does sound an awful lot like coordinates.
I'm going to start looking up those coordinates once, well,
I tell you. Yeah. I recount it. I'm like, oh yeah, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9.
You throw those coordinates in, and that's half. It gives you a plane across the galaxy.
Longitude or latitude.
You need at least one more set of coordinates. But this is a start.
Where is the plane?
We don't have enough information.
Okay.
And you can like show Gibbs on the map as you like zoom
Somewhere
out
in
and
this
turn. On the spiral, you
area.
can see on the Sagittarius arm towards the very distal part across the plane, you can see there's an element that would line up with places like the Solari system, Alpha Centauri, a few other places of that nature. The
So
Trappist
we need
system
like
is
one
close.
more to really triangulate because we've got the X and the Y, but we need the Z.
Correct.
Okay. So
Having seen Gibbs come home, I imagine that Spice is coming through the door next.
Yeah.
So I just
We're
like
like
have
arm in arm.
Yeah.
We're like
Okay.
all
You
over
have
each
not
other.
seen Spice and Gibbs this close.
I take out my note cards and I just throw them up in the air, kind of hitting Peep in the face.
that was unnecessary.
And I'm not even paying attention to shit. I'm just running up to Spice. And
I step in between him and I go, "Oh, thank you for welcoming me home!" And I give you a big old fucking hug first.
That's cute. Spice like gives you the eyes and she goes, "Do it."
Oh, Gibbs, I totally
And I'm gross and I'm sweaty and it's the grossest hug and I'm not doing anything to make it any better for you like I have in the past.
Actively making it worse.
Yeah, I like think about it and I think about the feelings I'm currently feeling
It's
about
like
Bubs.
sweat begin to drip.
Yeah, it's like a little more, yeah.
It's like the stress sweat.
But I like nuzzle into your chest and I'm like,
venom
oh, I'm so
Just
excited.
like oozing off.
But,
onto-
Bubs feels like a wet spot around his leg.
Yeah.
Like his lower leg.
Whoa.
And he's like, what is that? I imagine it's probably the gravy boat you put in your pocket.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like the remnants of oil that are just
Yeah.
seeping down, and like it's almost like genie lamp corner in the pocket. So like it's just
Oh my
oozing into
God.
the pocket and then down her pant leg.
Yeah, it's probably like
and
on
then
my
all over your pants.
Oh, did
my
you
lower
want
knee.
some? It's hot oil.
Oh,
Well, it was hot. Now it's kind of like lukewarm oil.
you know, I had some pocket oil earlier, so I'm good.
Well, okay.
And then he's gonna like kind of get out of the conversation and like turn to Spice and
I
just
let that
give her,
happen.
give her like a great big hug. Oh my Spice, I missed you so much. You weren't there last night when we slept, and the bed felt so empty, and I didn't know.
I miss you too, my love.
It's been 16 hours.
16 hours, that were too long, and I don't want to do it again.
He walks in, you can see like rubbing his head a little bit from where the flashcards hit him, and he just goes, "Now that everybody's home, can we just make a plan for tomorrow? What time are we supposed to be there?"
There was no indicated time. I was planning on going as soon as we all were.
Well, you just text him. Why don't you text him and say, you have his number, right? That guy?
It's 1 a.m.
Yeah, just say, I'll meet you at 9.
I didn't specify that anyone else would be joining me except Echo because Echo has the free time given her back.
We're all sticking together. If we don't need to split up, we're not doing it ever again.
Oh, Pete! Teamwork!
No, you're really gross right now.
Oh, my hand.
Make a diplomacy check.
Smells like
Peep has the list
oil.
of parts that I had asked him
You sent them to him, yeah?
for the optimal.
Yeah.
Okay.
22!
Yes, Shade, I got that, and so we can figure something out. But a lot of these cards are hard to find. We can't just find them in this system. Like,
Those were the optimal. If
Okay,
we can
I'll
find
see what we
something
can-
comparable, that
But-
would be good.
we're all sticking together. We're all going at 9 o'clock. Okay?
Oh, but I have class tomorrow.
It's Saturday tomorrow.
I thought it was Friday.
It's Friday now. I believe.
Don't we have
Restaurant.
Kevin's party tomorrow night? Or tomorrow during the day
I had
also?
lab safety, and then today is actually Friday, Joe. I'm like 99% because I have my class.
I
schedule.
remember I made the mistake before. However, I'm
I woke up
sure
at
it's
10.
Friday. I may have messed it up at
Yeah.
one point, but I'm sure it's Friday because I know that you guys have Kevin's party tomorrow.
I mean,
It's okay.
yeah, it's whatever.
So no worries.
dawn of the final day.
So how are we gonna do? So we have lockout in the morning and then Kevin's party at night, or do we have?
Who is
Is it
Kevin?
like a beach party during the day where everyone gets drunk on the beach during the
You didn't
day?
get
Are you guys
You got
saying
the
this in
group-
front of
You
people?
got the group message
Yeah.
about Kevin's party.
Like
I'm not-
Spice doesn't
Yeah, I sent it to
care.
What party is this?
Oh, we're making new friends. We're gonna start a life here, Pete. Like you wanted in phase 1.
Okay, where are we having the party?
Chili Beach, right? The beach, the cove up there, up a ways.
What
Is
did-
that right?
What did I say we were having the party?
At your house.
Well,
Gibbs
Gibbs
then
had
Gibbs said at the
Gibbs had
beach.
said you should host it at the beach, and don't do it. You wanted to do it on like Tuesday night when we were gonna go
Yeah,
fuck
because
off.
that's
Magic.
what Bubs
Right.
Yeah, let's just do it Tuesday night. Tuesday night's prime party night.
But she was like, no, Saturday beach
Right.
party, and send you a calendar invite titled beach
Yeah.
party.
I think because I said previously that I would I was going to forward Gibbs' message, and then Gibbs was like, "Oh, I have my work email." I think I would just like take out the email, but actually forward the part about like the location at the cove to Kevin.
So at the beach, this is gonna be at the cove.
Well,
Whatever-
just
whatever
any
she
beach.
said,
I would
yeah.
have said like beach party. Like there's a
Really
beach near
beach.
us, near the community college. Can we just like
Yeah.
like beach near that
Not
like
the-
surf shop place?
Not the boardwalk beach, right?
just like
Because that
Isn't
one's
that
the
the same
gross one.
beach, though?
No,
yeah,
that
like
one's
I don't
the gross
care.
one.
I don't give a fuck if it's gross. Just
The one
like
that we went to was
Yeah,
like
up a ways.
up, yeah.
Let's go to that one. That
And
seems
that's
like
also
the
where
nice
the
one.
that's also where the lockout
yeah, you
dock
tell
place
So we
is.
can,
The dock
you know,
is
if we really, because we're hot tonight. You guys should have seen us. We were so good at Hakashita Hana tonight.
Oh my God.
It was so great.
Spice made all of the drinks.
Oh, you should have seen. I'm sure you'll see it on the infosphere. This massive fire maybe was a mistake, but
We're
was
supposed
awesome.
to be keeping a low profile.
I'm searching the infosphere for all
Easy to
these
find. It's like trending right now. Yeah.
It was so
projecting
cool.
onto into the room.
Oh my
You see
god.
Gibbs go, big smile, super charismatic, like couldn't have possibly touched the dish below it because it all burns. But it's just this thing. Everybody says, "Whoa!" You hear in the background, "Whoa!" Like, you just hear all this reaction, and then it just like does like the boomerang thing, and then goes back again.
But Pete, I know you said low profile, but Nadia told us that we Hakatita Shana. I say it right in game, but I can't say it right. We're hosting, we're catering for the lockout tournament. So even if we lose, at least Spice and I can make an
It's
argument that
true.
we're gonna cater the lockout gala.
And we can hire servers to hold up platters at a gala.
So this is part 2.
If we don't win lockout, we have a backup
This
plan.
feels
Peep, it's perfect.
suspiciously like an excuse, but I'll grant you that it does make some amount of sense.
Okay.
Nice.
It's a good backup plan if we need it, and we can figure something out from there.
I was also able to plant.
I'm still holding Peep's hand.
Okay.
What do you call that when you plant a kernel in their server, in their security server?
It's a backdoor.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Why not? I should know, but I don't.
It's a Trojan.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So you do that.
I don't know if it was like something different for,
That's excellent. So that means that if we do need to sneak in through the front or make a quick exit, we can do that.
Yes.
Good. So everything is kind of coming together. All we need to do is not blow our cover.
Donna and Didi over here are doing great.
You're trending.
As Donna and Delilah. It's
But your
fine.
picture, you're not wearing Look at Gibbs, and you see he takes it and like freezes it, and you can see it's like just like for all of you who know Gibbs, you can see it's like very clearly like the bottle shape.
Sticking out.
In the part where
glass.
Gibbs like throws, you see like the glint of the glass, but for everybody else, probably just like parts of the powder. But you guys can clearly see that this is Gibbs. This is not subtle. This is not undercover. The whole reason we're doing this is because I wanted to argue that you guys are responsible enough to be taking on your own missions now. And I'm not going to be able to prove that if we blow this again. So please, stop pissing off the mob and stop setting fires off at tableside services.
Regarding the mob, we do still have Red on the ship.
Why?
Great question.
Known.
We could not decide whether or not to kill him or to send him to a deserted planet alone.
So you just kept him on our ship?
I had recommended killing him and jettisoning him off into space. However, now that we have this in, we could potentially use his money to bankroll some of the funds that we would need for requisite parts and repairs.
Interesting.
I guess, but I mean, we can do that. We're a corporation. We have a budget for this mission. And didn't the guy say that he was gonna be able to pay for this if we could find the parts?
Yes, but looking at him, it didn't seem as if he was very well off.
So now who's trying to rob a casino?
Not rob.
Just
I
black.
just don't
Yeah,
know. if we
blackmail,
should
what's
be
the
I mean, he
using-
tried to murder us, okay?
Spice
that
also
have
puts
been
her hands up. She's like, I don't
put
care.
aside by organized criminals to fund anything. That seems like a really good way to get into much more trouble later on.
Fair enough.
Well, actually, never mind. Spice wouldn't have remembered.
All right, 9 o'clock. Send this guy a message. Let him know that we're going to come all together. Because we are not splitting up ever again.
Right now,
No, at 9 o'clock tomorrow.
the message.
Yes.
But if I send it at 9 o'clock, we'll already be there.
No, it's just send it at like 7:30. That's a reasonable time.
Shade, I'm going to bed. At some point, you need to figure out how to take very basic instructions and expand upon them in a larger way.
Extrapolate.
That's a great word, Gibbs.
Isn't that?
That is your mission right now, okay?
Doing good. We got it. Fucking
Going to
killing it.
bed.
Oh, are we all going to bed? And Bubs is just gonna like give like a side glance to Spice.
He just like, you can see his ears go down, the Yosoki tail like flops, and as he walks up the stairs, the
I walk
tail-
with him,
the
still
tail,
holding
like,
his hand.
Up the stairs, yeah, no problem.
You're stuck to him.
Yeah. He just walks
I
up,
walk on
so-
his door and let him go at his door, but I want to, as I'm holding his
God damn it,
hand,
Echo the cactus again!
I want to like medicine check, kind of subtly like feeling his bones and like what's up with him.
Sure, make a medicine check.
Oop, that was
Nikolai's
Nikolai.
wandering off on his own.
16.
With a 16, it's hard to tell. However, you do know, Peep said that he wasn't really stationed on like a planet necessarily. He was like in his ship for a long time. And if he's just spending time in space, low bone density, that's like a pretty common thing. So maybe that's the reason.
Cool. I tuck that away in my knowledge and then I say, good night, Peep, and I give him a kiss on the cheek. Mwah!
Good night, Gibbs.
And I go trot to my bed.
Shuts the door.
I have that conversation now with you guys
Okay.
about the coordinates. Oh, and I look at my bottle for Dr. Maldras. It's like, what, 2 in the morning? 1 in the morning?
Yeah. You pull up this bottle, having already like talked to your group about the
Star coordinates.
elements of these coordinates, and as you pull this up, the stars kind of fading into the gross muck of this. You see, again for the second time ever, Dr. Maldras is not within the confines of this base. They seem to be heading towards the beach at a pretty good rate of speed, almost like they're jogging.
I send the coordinates to everyone.
Okay.
And then I look at you guys who are still up because we were just having that conversation. We could go check Dr. Maldras right now. If we go to the beach right now.
Like spy on him?
You're not there.
Oh, so, okay.
But like,
So I assume I took your eyes and we're up into our bedroom now.
Oh, okay.
So you guys start whispering. Every now and then you just hear like, but yeah, no problem.
Do you want to? We should go.
How far away is this beach?
How far are the coordinates?
Let me go get the map.
Wow.
Well, you guys have seen this before.
I know, but it's exciting when we get to see it more
Oh yeah.
because it's so good.
I can just leave it.
I love this map. I
Okay.
want this one framed like that one's
So-
framed.
You had all seen. This is typically where he is.
Yeah.
Over here.
Oh, fuck.
Literally, just right on the other.
Oh, so we can't.
beach
Can we
over
get?
there,
Oh, we
right?
can though.
You need to go like so.
We could go to the
down to the-
boardwalk.
Literally,
end
so
of
you
the
would go to
boardwalk.
where you guys parked last time, and instead of walking in this direction, just walk straight, and then you'd have to walk along the beach.
So I explained that we could do that. We could just like peek in on him.
I could potentially run there myself and keep you in constant contact.
Yeah, that sounds great. Doesn't that
It
sound
would
great?
be quieter than using a vehicle and potentially faster.
Yeah, and we'll just drive, and that way when you need a pickup, you can just hop in our car. Teamwork, let's go.
Okay.
Nice. I grab the car keys off the counter and I'm
Okay.
getting
It's like-
the not green van.
Take basic instructions.
Right.
Orange van, yes.
Nice.
So this is going to be Echo, Shade, and Gibbs. Pile into the car. Who's driving? It's
And I'm
Oh,
gonna take
yeah.
Squeak too, so we have an excuse. if we
Okay,
get
great.
caught.
Yeah.
Echo's running ahead.
Oh, yes. So it's
So Echo runs ahead, and Echo, you going even just like a moderate speed, you can tear through town, no problem. It's like 2 a.m. Even in this resort town, here and there near some of like the late bars, there is still voices and music.
Whoa!
But by and large, it is relatively
Fast
quiet.
android, sweet.
You're like, that's weird. But you make your way. And following this path, what you would need to do is get over to the boardwalk, which is no problem. You get to the beach. Go ahead and make a perception check as you kind of like stop, slowing your momentum, knowing that running full speed on a sandy surface not the best idea.
Very
Turns
noticeable.
to glass.
Ooh, cool. On a natural 20, it does turn to glass.
Perception, you said?
We're
That's
reaching
21.
Mach
Okay.
10.
You look ahead as you walk, acutely aware of the fact that it's hard for you to be stealthy. You like look up. There is a sliver of this faraway moon that you didn't even see coming in here. So like very far off, almost just like another star. You can see a few like points of light here and there, but mostly it is dark tonight on the beach. You see like all the lights behind you, and so you are aware of the fact that your bright, glowing blue eyes and like elements that kind of show up on your face, probably very visible.
Put your dimmer down.
But you look, and as you walk, there is a point where you do see movement in the surf. With that perception check, words don't make it to you. I would say you notice very quickly one of the 2 individuals spots you. One is taller, one is shorter, but beyond that, really hard to make much out in the darkness. You don't have any special vision, correct?
I don't think so.
Okay.
specialized.
We have, as androids,
We can see it like in
you have
Right.
dark
Dark
vision,
vision.
in
So-
black and white.
What I would say is you can see the taller one kind of turns towards you. You see in the body language, like the stiffness, and then both begin to briskly walk often towards the, in the direction of the laboratory. Is there anything that you're doing in this moment?
Echo is probably going to like stick close to the boardwalk to just kind of seem like a spectator.
Okay.
Just like kind of enjoying the surf and the nighttime ocean, but also like attempting to like track their movements.
Make one last perception check as you watch. They seem to like stop for a moment. The tallest one, or I would say actually the tall one disappears into the forest line very quickly. The shorter one seems to stop and like lingers for a second. This is to see if you can get any kind of details about them.
That sounded like
So
a
loud,
really
I'm so sorry.
heavy die.
It is heavy.
Hope it was a good roll for
Where's the
that.
medal?
No,
No,
it's the
Big
big
guy.
big one.
That's
it's a 27.
27.
dang.
As this individual pauses, you stop and you focus as hard as you can.
I'm sorry, 26.
26, okay.
You see nothing.
Nothing, it's all darkness.
You go blind.
Your eyes malfunction. They just fall.
The shutters just shut down. You're like, oh man, you have to slide them back up.
Oh, I have
But-
gone into sleep mode.
Shit.
You stare as intently as you can, and as your eyes adjust, as the clouds part in just the right way to let the most possible amount of starlight in, you get just the faintest glimpse of this person. It is a human, although the skin is so pale. And you can see it gleams off this bald head. Not a single speck of hair on this person. And then they turn, disappear off into the woods.
Any other like distinguishing features that Echo can see or not?
You see at that distance, and in this, even that is an incredible amount. You sense that they are wearing something relatively like roomy, like a roby kind of garment, but as they turn and that kind of like flares in the dark kind of night space here, not a lot you can see. There's still, and this is like a good 100 feet off, 120 feet off,
And you said they head towards the forest line or the lab?
towards the forest.
That is the lab? Like they're going
Yeah,
into
so
that?
if they are right here,
Yeah.
they are turning and walking
Alright.
to this little top.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Through the mountain.
Echo, like, once they've gone, pops on their communicator and tries to translate visually what they've seen, like,
Enhance.
and then also adds a little comment that says,
Sorry.
yes, secret tunnel. One of the figures reminded me of Bubs wearing a bathrobe.
Yuck. I text back.
I agree.
Bubs, is there any point
I
over the
can't
course of
be
the
there to
evening that you're going to
defend
check
you.
your communicator?
Yeah,
No,
I imagine
dude. What?
after post-quarterless, me and Spice would probably have like some kind of conversation.
Okay.
about
Okay,
stuff.
yeah, but not for a while. So simmer down.
Yeah, Bubs, come on, Bubs is a stallion. Come on, let's be honest.
Keep your stamina up, babe.
5 minutes later, you check your phone.
Shut up.
Go get some juice.
5 minutes later, you're
imagine
like, man, that was
Bubs-
great twice.
Bubs is like talking to Spice.
Triple my stamina.
So how was your day?
It was so great. I had the best day of work.
Oh my
I
god.
feel like I'm finally doing something good.
Oh, that makes me so happy that you're happy. And like just seeing the glow in your face. Oh, I really missed you these past couple days, but like, I mean, it was just one day, but it felt like forever.
It did.
So this message comes across, and as you go and you look at it, you see it's from Echo, and this little attachment opens up, and you see something that really chills you, Bubs. But because it is 7:41,
Oh.
It's yourself in a bathrobe.
You accidentally open on the front facing camera and you're like, oh!
you're like still like half asleep. You're like, whoa! No, because it is 7:41. This is where we're gonna take a quick break. So it is 7:41. We're gonna step away for 10 minutes, and we'll be back at 7:51. We'll see you then. Pew, 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 pew. And welcome back. Matt
Matt just found
devastated.
out that Coolio died.
Yeah, sorry if you're finding that out.
Where were you when Coolio died?
I guess I was here.
I was on Reddit reading about Coolio
Yeah, same.
being dead now. So,
Wow.
yeah. If you are just joining us, thank you for joining us. If you stayed with us through the break, thank you for sticking with us. Hi to, I saw Nort, and I saw Talon, and I saw Carson, and Phoenix Soldier. Hello to everybody
Oh, my mom.
who's watching. I saw Ari's mom. I almost said, oh, my mom, but different moms.
Not your mom.
Not my
We're
mom.
secretly related. We're both adopted. It could be.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Honestly.
There's a universe where Joe and I are siblings.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the multiverses. So, thank you for joining us. We're going to jump right back into Starfinder here. Whew. So, Bubs, as you look at your communicator, you see this picture of I would say young, but this person seems to be relatively similar in age to you. Similar to you, you see not a single strand of hair on this person. She has no hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. And there's something in your mind as you look at this picture and your blood runs cold that you think Emma.
Emma?
Emma.
Number 2.
No. Not number 2. I'm gonna put my phone down. I'm gonna imagine me and Spice are like I have my arm around her and we're both in bed and we're like sharing a cigarette or something.
Okay.
Oh.
Spice doesn't check her communicator, but she was looking over at yours and is just.
Spice never checks her.
Yeah,
Who's that?
No. Yeah, she's like, who's texting you right now?
Is that Tiffany?
Yeah, like,
Is that Bastion?
very obviously extremely jealous, like toxically jealous. Oh, good. No one heard that.
No, it's just the group. I'm gonna put my phone like on my chest. These past couple days I've been so full of emotion. Going to school for the first time, this mission, us finally finding each other. And then this morning I woke up, and on this empty bed next to me, I saw something above me. It was a spider web. It made like a perfect web around where my bubble would be.
Around your body?
It was the weirdest thing.
How far away?
It was on like the corner of the post. I point to the post above the bed.
Do we have a canopy bed?
Yeah, I imagine
Nice.
Yeah, I imagine it's like not a nice one.
Nice.
And it made like kind of like an inverse curve around it. I point to like the ceiling and around the area.
And as you point to this like area and look up, can you slide a little towards me?
Yeah.
Thanks.
It didn't hurt you, did it?
No, it didn't hurt. It never hurts, but I feel like this, whatever this is around me, this field, it's changing. It's getting stronger. I've never had this before happen. And when I thought about this morning, it made me think if Miles is having any of these effects. And then I realized I haven't thought about Miles in a while.
Do you still want to go find him?
Of course, but on the other hand, there's my life with you. There's this team, there's this school, I'm finally living who I want to be, but at the same time, I feel like I have this duty to him, this connection to help him. And I feel like I'm betraying him a little bit.
You're not betraying him by living your best life, by any means. Especially falling in love. He would want you to fall in love and start your own family. And who is that in that photo?
Oh,
Do you recognize that person?
I'm gonna like take the phone off my chest and I'll show her.
She like bites her lip when she realizes that there's no hair on this person. She's like, ooh.
Kind of hot, right?
Not that lip biting. No,
Yeah.
different. But maybe. Just kidding.
I remember many people in the orphanage. I remember, of course, how they tormented me sometimes. But I remember there's one person in my brain that, well, she never really fit in with the group per se, but everyone always just, respected her, but not respect, kind of feared her.
Uh-oh.
It was something about her, like this aura about her. Her name was Emma.
Emma.
And she like the rest of me and Miles, and I'm trying to remember the rest of us, we were all hairless, and
Can I remember what I saw when I mind linked with Jade? Would I remember?
You would remember very much. You had seen flashes of this life, these lab coats. And one of the things that you would have seen beyond just like this young, hairless version of Bubbles, there were other children that did look very similar. Mm-hmm. And this does look like roughly Bub's age, the one that was referred to as Emma, who I believe off the top of my head was 5.
Okay, so this is the 5th child. I remember the 5th child because I also remember when
Maybe 4. 5 was Hunter, I think.
she was trying to block out one of the children. This is not one of the children she was trying to block out.
No.
Okay.
5 was the one that she was trying to block.
Yeah. Okay, that's important.
Is this 5?
No,
No,
this
this
is
is 4.
Okay.
not
Bub's
the
in Bub's
fifth child.
mind. He's still trying to like piece together the memories, so it's kind
Yeah.
of.
Okay, so Spice is gonna relay that. Yeah, because I'm sure we've already talked about how I mind linked with Jade, so we're
You did, yeah.
yeah. And so she's gonna go. It's not the 5th child. Do you have any memories of what superpowers Emma had?
oh God,
And Bubs, at this moment, there is this, and you look down and you can see just this drop of crimson spreading across the sheet, and you notice suddenly your nose is beginning to bleed.
Honey.
If you can go ahead, make a will saving throw.
Shit. What? Angel, what is happening?
There's so many pet names that just hit us rapid fire there.
Babu!
Buddy.
That is
Oh shit.
a 9 plus 3. Oh, 7. Oh wow, 7. Okay.
9 plus 7.
16.
Okay, that went from like
Strong
not
will.
great to okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, I was looking at
Yeah.
wisdom, and then I was like plus 3.
It begins to drip, and there is a moment where it almost feels like it's going to begin to like run, and then it just kind of stops. And
Spice
for a
like
moment,
brings the sheet up to his nose, like ah.
and as
Are you
Spice
okay?
like, bubbles this up and like pushes your head back for a second, as your head goes back, you can see this aura around your vision. It feels like elements of your past almost pulling at your mind. But in this moment, kind of this warm bed, Spice next to you, you don't fall back into these memories. And so you're able to push that away for now.
Bobby, are you gonna be able to do this mission? Should we not do this mission?
no. I have to do this mission. Everyone's counting on me.
Bobby, we can find another one. We don't even have to do this anymore. What if we just stayed here in Orse Bay and lived here undercover for the rest of our lives? Wouldn't that be fun?
Bubs is gonna look down.
And you think
We don't
Bubs
have
about
to
the
do
fact
it
that
anymore.
you guys have blown your cover now like 4
Yeah.
times in 2 days. That would be a tough pace to sustain.
Yeah.
You know,
Spice obviously sees right past that.
I've thought about this.
Have you?
I mean, you and your debt, being my mutagen, trying to hide from God knows who's coming after me. You and me, we could just leave.
We could just leave.
I mean, I'd feel bad, because I promised Gibbs I'd show her Earth and help her with her, her situation on Petrus 4, but...
Well, maybe we go to Earth or Petrus 4 and build a life there.
I would be happy to build a life with you anywhere.
Especially in a junk
Yeah.
planet I'm actively trying to destroy.
Where you belong.
Yeah.
Bubs would probably make it like a nice little clean corner for himself.
Spice does not. Get
Not if Gibbs has anything to say about kids.
Gibbs is just
We start
on
living
her way
with
to destroy Petra's core and
scabrous.
sees like this one sterile corner completely devoid of plant and animal life. Like,
No! Needs mold.
No, I think that Bubs has an appreciation for plant life after Jade a little bit.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future, Spice. No one knows.
And I'm gonna take her hands in mine.
But all I know is I want to be with you.
And I want to be with you.
If you feel like we should, I mean, not at this moment, because I feel like we can continue, but you say the word and we'll both go, we'll be gone.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna kiss her and pass her the cigarette and lay back.
Okay. That's a lot to think about.
So you take this breath of cigarette smoke in and you pass it over to Spice. And as you both release the cigarette smoke, the camera follows it as it like goes out the window across the starry sky. The camera pans up. And then slowly it keeps panning up and up and up, and then it gets brighter, then it pans down, and it's like the sun rising, and it is the next morning.
Wow, can someone animate that, please? Do we have anybody in the chat animate?
However, all of you, if you would like, can mark off a long rest for those of you who need to.
So did we get back from
We
the,
pick up Echo, we go back.
uneventful success?
I pet Squeak's head.
Yeah, I'm giving him all the snuggles.
I
I don't.
apologize. It appears my peripherals are highly noticeable.
And as you guys like pull up in the darkness, it's like you kind of see Echo, and like still 60 feet off, you like pull to a stop, and the brakes like squeak, and then it's like, whoa, and it's like these two eyes blazing in the darkness. It's terrifying.
Oh my god. I'm glad you have not that shade. You're easier on the eyes.
That's kind of hot.
And then you
Is
see
Echo within like earshot of
I would
that?
say like at this point you take a step, you blink, and then all of a sudden Echo's like right at the car, like not really running, but for Echo still so fast.
Oh, hi! I got your text. Glad we took a look. Took a look. I do that at you. Go.
Like right into your face.
Yeah.
Hello.
That
Hello.
was a successful reconnaissance mission. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, look, we got a picture of Dr. Maldrus and everything. That's great.
Echo like hops into the car
Yeah.
and just like sits out in the back.
Yeah, we go.
Like self-consciously, you notice Echo's eyes like begin to dim a little bit.
It's down to 10%. But no problem. You all wake up the next day, marking off a long rest for those of you who need to. But Shade, for you, are you sending a message in the morning to this gentleman?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll message him.
Okay. What does it say?
Just say, I will be at the
I'll be
beach at 9 a.m. with my fellow teammates for training and to begin repairs.
Okay. You get a message back just a couple moments later, and it just says, "Great! I managed to find an engine. I just need help putting it in. And I got us a scrimmage for later today, so we need to get this in now. Bring any help you have." And then you see, like he texts sort of like an elderly person, and it just says Teddy.
Oh, cute.
Teddy.
All right. I guess I'm gonna try to get there a little early to just help this dude because he seems pretty incapable of helping himself with this, and so I'm gonna take Squeak out for his morning walkies, and then I'll message the rest of the group, say going ahead to assist Teddy with repairs for, and then I will also mention scrimmage later today. Good luck.
I send a bunch of red flags back.
Is this in the one with Peep as well?
Yes. I'm not telling Peep.
Yeah. I sent a bunch of red flags.
Yeah.
It's not like
Whatever.
I'm doing anything.
No worries. So you do that. Anybody going with Shade? Anybody want to accompany?
I guess I will.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured I'd probably, since I'm going early, I would walk there.
Okay.
And maybe I'd take Squeak too. Squeak has been in the house the whole time. He deserves. It's a Saturday.
We keep bringing
Canonically,
everywhere.
Squeaky's getting like tons of walks.
Yeah, that's what. But yeah, those
Puppy,
are
puppies
dog.
yeah, and
energy.
those are walks like around the block. He got one walk to the
Aldous.
Terra Mater, and then he got one like kind of walk.
One of the great things about having the
boardwalk
map
there.
that we have, I don't know if people are able to see it on the combat cam, but with this map, we could actually go back and determine exactly how far Squeaky has walked.
Does Squeaky level up?
Squeaky will not level up; he'll scale, but he doesn't have a
nice.
level. He's an NPC.
I hand you a soggy piece of French toast. I packed this for you. It's breakfast.
Thank you,
And I
Gibbs.
nom on my soggy piece of French toast.
No problem. Anybody else heading with Gibbs and Shade and the Soggy French Toast Express
And
to
Squeak.
the beach? And Squeak.
Is aren't we all going? Isn't
Yeah, I thought we
that
were
We're
all-
supposed to. but
We
it's up
are
to you.
leaving early so that we can walk over and so that I can get a head start on fixing the ships.
And being his roommate, I would be aware of that thought.
Yeah, I messaged everyone so that there's the
get
option
there
of
on
getting
time?
early.
So I assume
We're
We can
leaving
take
the
the car
house
later.
around
Yeah.
7.
Okay.
Keys are on
Probably
the
get
counter.
there. How long does it take to walk? Like 35, 40 minutes?
To walk, so you're
Or like
walking.
an hour?
The beach is off a map. The one that
Oh,
you're going
okay.
to, that's the one that took you 30 minutes to drive to.
Oh, okay. So we're walking. So we might just get there at 9 anyway.
Yeah, so like they'll catch up with you.
Okay.
No problem.
That's fine.
Okay.
I tell you all about my day yesterday.
2 parties. You guys do, if you would like, all eventually reach the beach.
Okay.
Right around the same time. You guys actually pull up.
can we invite? I invite Efi. So Efi can help in the back of our
No,
car.
Evie's
Can-
busy. Evie's.
Oh, she's watching
Yeah.
that.
Oh right,
She's
sure
right.
it is. You're right. She's on the ship.
Efi,
Yes,
come
never mind.
watch
So
us.
yeah, you get one message to Efi, and it's like, "Hey, Efi, come to the beach." And then, wait, actually, Efi, never mind. You have to stay on the ship.
Oh, dear God, no.
Rough, brutal.
I think while Gibbs and I are walking, I would probably look up like how to play Lockout and just send like the how
It's
to
like the
guides
first PDF that you
for
find about like yeah, sure.
Send it to the group message so that
You
like
do have a
everyone-
copy of the league rules, which was given to
Yeah,
you by the gentleman.
I would have
last night.
sent that out.
Yeah, so no worries. Everybody
It's
has
so
a copy
rude
of
that
the
you do
rules.
that while you're talking to me.
Well, I can do it in the background. You wouldn't even notice.
I would if I get the text.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, oh my god, we had a great day yesterday. My favorite color is green. Like, the gives.
And
Literally.
then just,
and
ding,
then-
and just like, you're not paying attention to this.
The thing is, I am paying attention. I'm just having my exocortex do stuff.
But what?
And as
So that I
Shade
can
argues with
optimize.
you about
Yeah.
this, you hear a very familiar engine, and looking behind, your 3 teammates pulling
What's
up
up,
just
babe?
as you
She
guys
like
get
tips
to the
her
parking lot.
sunglasses down.
Teammates. Echo would have enjoyed a fresh French toast breakfast and stayed at the house.
and then just run.
Just run there.
So
Fueled by maple syrup.
everybody but Echo makes it there at 9 o'clock. You guys park the car. You like get everything out. Echo shows up at 9:03. And all of you together make your way over to this Spanish-style like church building right on the ocean. You can see this pier. There are all the same ships that you saw before, 5 of them painted in shades of silver and gray. And you can see the 77-year-old Teddy Newport. He's wearing like a white sleeveless shirt that's stained with oil and all kinds of like mechanics, different things. There's a flag that's now fluttering all the way hoisted of the Gray Ghost yet again. And you can see he kind of like hobbles up to all of you. All right, so you guys must be this guy's compatriots, right?
Howdy.
Brand new Gray Ghosts. Welcome to the team. You guys are really bailing me out of a tight spot, and I appreciate all of you coming to help us out. We got some problems going on here. Any of you good with the wrench?
I'm going over to just like I'm gonna go
Spice
fix
will
it in
point
like
at-
5 seconds.
Leon.
Okay. Turns and just goes, hey, just so you know, we know what's wrong with those. I'm waiting for the part to come. One of your kinds is coming to bring this thing, a Rocco. And right at about this point,
1-2-1-1.
off in the
1D.
distance, you just hear,
What a
Rocco 36 goes over and says, I apologize. I am taking a personal day. Would you like some assistance?
You can see they straighten up and they say, "It is against company protocol to take jobs on your day off. Thank you." And they just push this thing along. You can see what they are pushing is massive. Compared to the tanning bed that the two of you transported before, this is maybe twice as large. You can see huge wooden thing. There are currently...
doesn't spring for dollars.
So no, he is using a lot of dollies. At this moment, this individual seems to be using maybe 6 of them, all kind of layered underneath. And even so, because it's going across the sand, as it moves, the individual repulsors, and it is vibrating across the sand. The wood is bucketed too, so you hear
I don't like this.
He gets it across, and you can see Teddy Newport just puts his hands on his hips, and he goes, "Yeah, here it comes!" And you just hear, and he pushes it, and there's a 5-minute montage. Teddy does nothing to help. He just stands there.
Can I help?
Yeah, sure.
Can somebody help
Gibbs goes over.
Monty?
And I got my Alexa, so it can push too.
Do we have the parts? That's the engine, right?
So as
Presumably.
as 1211 comes up, he just kind of
Hate him.
goes,
I like Monty.
Yeah, I don't like it.
"I have a package for Teddy Newport." And you can see Teddy Newport comes up and goes, "Yeah, it's me." He goes over, puts his hand on the pad. There's a little beep. And at this point, this Rocco unit turns to you and goes, "Would you mind?" And then they just try to start shoving this off the sleds. One by one, the sleds pop back up to about a foot off the ground as this thing is pushed away. And then the wooden sides of this crate fall to the sides, and you see still fused into an element of the fuselage that currently, or had previously housed it, an older AD-1000 engine. It's fused into the elements of an old Starfighter.
This is not the part that I had requested.
This is the part, it's just new.
Oh, okay.
It's very used.
Okay.
Refurbished.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to fix that itself enough so that it's not gonna be shitty when we put it into the ship.
Sure.
Echo kind of leans down towards Teddy and says, "It is customary with such exemplary service to leave a tip and a good review."
Try to grunt less. I'll give you a good review too. Look, it'll really help if you can get something set up with the engine, but we gotta figure out something about the repulsor coils on the other one. I got the third one flying. We're good to go on that, but we gotta figure something out for that. I can't find any replacements anywhere.
Pete didn't come with us, did he?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna message Pete, be like, "How are the parts coming along?"
Okay. You message him and you can see, but you know what? I'm gonna give you a call back. So, your communicator rings and Peep's face flickers to life and he goes, "Shade, I managed to find maybe some weapons that we could use. I'm still trying to figure out whether or not we're allowed to possess these in this locality, but I can't find any engines. It needs to be an AD-1000.
We have procured an engine. Now we need repulsors.
Shade, could you tell me these things so
I
I don't
did.
spend my whole morning looking for them?"
Just found out.
I just found out.
Okay, I can't find any repulsors either. There's nothing. Everything uses wheels here or treads.
Have you got Chip and Crumb?
Gibbs recommends calling Chip and Crumb.
Yeah, I can do that, but they still need to send stuff from the Eclipse Mall. That will take days.
Echo looks at the dollies.
We should go to
You
the
can see
Eclipse Mall.
121 is getting them all together, and he turns and he says, "Have a good day off." And he begins to shepherd 6 of these floating, vibrating dollies, all laden with repulsor coils, keeping them aloft.
I do believe I know where we can find some, but it will cost me.
Cost you?
I am an employee of Rocket Courier.
Yeah.
And Echo just points at the dollies that
I see 6 of these hovering, vibrating
Nice.
things that are floating on.
1 T.
You can see he stops and just turns, "Yes."
is part of the delivery those dollies? Could I have them?
No, these are each very expensive, and I have put a deposit on them.
How does one procure those as a non-employee?
He turns and he just says, "You must be an employee of Rocket Courier to rent." He turns.
Sorry, Echo.
Everybody turns to Rocco, 36.
Pete, we have a solution to the repulsors. I'll let you know if anything else comes up.
Echo looks very dejected and says, on that note, Rocco, 21, I think I might actually be in the mood for some deliveries today. I can help you bring these dollies back to the van.
Okay. He turns and just goes, "Okay." He picks up like 3 of these dollies, kind of like pushes them, and they like over to you. And if you want, you could help him bring these dollies back.
Echo's gonna help him bring these dollies back because Echo doesn't want these to be on Rocco 21's
Sure, yeah.
bill.
No problem.
That's nice of you too. That's nice. We can
Echo
just
knows.
take out
Back,
one T
and
and be
then,
like, all right.
Now I'm gonna buy them again.
There's a reason that Echo's in so much debt. So you help
my
Rocco
debt, your
bring
debt.
these things back.
Did they get the last
It's
names
cyclical.
wrong?
It's cyclical.
It's just like
Trickle down,
$12
not working.
million of debt, but it's just like microtransactions.
turns
It's just like
out-
99 cents each. Like some kid with an iPad, like under Echo's name, just like ordered a bunch of
Yeah,
bullshit.
that's really what happened.
Minecraft.
Her like jewel of repulsor charge.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Dolphin bucks. So
Oh my God.
you return them all,
Okay,
no
coins.
problem. And 1T1 just like turns to you and says, "It was nice of you to help me on your day off."
It is appreciated, but I am now working. And Echo kind of like digs into their like side pocket and pulls out the hat and puts it on.
He just kind of gives you a little nod. His own little dolphin goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And he goes, "I must depart. My next pickup is waiting for me." And he turns and just like walks down the street, no grunting. And you now sit there with the dolphin menu up, and you can see there are 15 of these hover sleds in stock. Each one just 10 credits to rent. However, should you not return them at the end of the day, they become 100 credits each, and then that continues to compound.
What is just out of character? What happens if they're destroyed?
So if they are destroyed, there is a replacement fee, and they are way more expensive than the actual item. So it's the same kind of thing. Like, oh, you broke our toaster, that's $1,000. It's a very similar thing.
Whoa.
And so if these are destroyed, this is a $5,000 replacement. And this is an item that you could buy for like 100 credits, probably.
Is this
Like, well, Rocco's not a real person, so the debt. No. I mean, like,
Whoa.
Rocco 36.
Androids aren't
No,
real people?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that was the worst one yet. Stop, you guys. Stop it.
We believe in android rights.
Echo doesn't have tear ducts, but somehow there is moisture collecting underneath there.
That's not all what I'm saying. Okay, Rocco 36 is a
no.
fictional persona. What happens to the death of a fictional like, do we care? I don't know.
So
That's
there
the
is
point.
no fictional cred stick attached to this.
It's Echo's.
It's Echo's personal funds.
Oh, okay. Then that's the question I
Yes.
got.
Echo looks through the delivery chart and sees if there's any deliveries being made to the surplus store.
And so looking through this chart, there is in fact a delivery being made to the surplus store. You can see it looks as if there has been something sent in from a warehouse. It is listed as simply garments, 3, but you would imagine it's 3 pallets or crates. But that is absolutely something that is being delivered.
Are we
Surplus
matching outfits?
Kinnery?
Yes.
Okay.
Echo gets on the comms again and is sure to include Pete and says, "Unfortunately, the replacement fee for the repulsor coils is exorbitant as expected, and I am unable to afford it. I am going to see if we can possibly find some at the local surplus store."
Green flags from Gibbs.
And you make your way over to the surplus store, no problem. So we'll get back to that in a second. Shade, as you take a look at this, go ahead and make we'll call this an engineering check. And this is going to be for your work upon this engine.
As we're doing this, I'm probably applying some sunscreen
Let's
and just
go.
offering Spice some.
Yeah.
Sure.
29.
Okay. This craft seems to have been shot down. You can see elements of like laser tear along the side. And so they've cut away most of the craft, and it's just like the engine and the things that would kind of bracket it in remaining. And so you find the connection points and just disconnect those. You don't worry about like sawing it all away or cutting it off. And you're able to free up the engine in about like half an hour, no problem. It takes you a little bit longer to actually install it correctly and get the diagnostics running. But you imagine with time to spare, you'll be able to fix this before your scrimmage.
Cool.
While Shade is doing this, Spice, Gibbs, and Bubs, what are the three of you doing?
Squeak's
I
gonna hang
want
with me,
to
probably.
be reading the manual of the ship. 'Cause
Okay.
Bubs is a big manual reader.
I figured you'd like those PDFs. I
Yeah,
sent you.
Bubs loves reading. He's an instruction first
Yeah.
kind of guy. And he's just going to be like pointing out like specific specs to everyone.
So as you're looking at this,
Yeah.
you know that the speed of these things is 50 feet. They can go full out 100 feet. They look like they have relatively good armor. You would guess EAC like 18, KAC 22.
How about that?
Yeah, look at that. They have planetary comms, so you'll be able to communicate to each other. Two of the craft that you have could house two people each. They're old bombers, at least the chassis is. All of these are cobbled together, so each one has kind of some unique components that will make them a little different to handle. But all of them feature this junk cannon. That's like the main thing about each one.
Yes.
And you can see it really is like a soccer ball launcher with like an open hopper that you could just dump things into, and it will fire it into a cone. Reading the instruction manual, it's like a 30-foot cone. And if you hit something especially hard with this, you imagine you'd be able to knock something right out of the air.
I'm loitering around Shade, trying to be helpful, and I will hand him like soggy wrenches and
Soggy wrenches.
Everything is soggy.
I still got maple syrup on my fur.
Yeah,
Like
sticky, soggy.
I'm just
last night.
Yeah.
like I'm on my day off, and because I don't care about Bubs right now, I am not taking much effort to present cleanly
So
anymore.
yeah, you're like wrench, and you get like a wrench, and you're like, oh, I want like the socket wrench, and you get like a gravy boat, and then Gibbs
But
like, wait, no,
also,
not that.
Most of the tools I just have in my hand.
Also true. Yeah.
But I like
But
loiter.
I'm gonna humor Gibbs.
And I'll
because,
chat.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just like a little bit of a nuisance, but like also learning, but also like not a book reader, so just sort of gonna like experience stuff. And then I'm like, ooh, the junk cannons. And you get to that part of the thing, and Gibbs' eyes are just like, oh, I know what I want to do.
And the junk cannons, like you see them, this looks like something your people would have built.
Yeah.
And in fact, there are elements to some of these that certainly look like they are Yosoki built. But yeah, you immediately, like looking at it, it's like it comes apart in your mind and you see exactly how it works.
Yeah. And I spend the rest of my time focused on that and less on Shades, being helpful to Shade.
No worries. In some ways, being more helpful to Shade in that way.
Yeah, now that I'm distracted, I get it. No, it's fine. We're cool.
Echo, what are you doing?
Echo's taking the delivery of 3 garments
Correct.
to the surplus store for Ambrose Kitchenery.
So you make your way over to the surplus store. Not a problem. Let's put on some Fiddles McGinty here.
Nice.
Is that the name of the track?
Yes, it is.
Fiddles McGinty. That's not even the first time we've heard this one.
I know. Yeah, it's so good. So you kind of pull up, and it is really relatively early in the morning, and so you can see right now it's just kind of Ambrose sitting out there. He's got like overalls on, he's got a red flannel, he's wearing no shirt underneath, so just like kind of like a pot belly. You could see just like it's like an old USR Marines tattoo on his chest, but you can see his eyes immediately narrow as he sees you approaching, and he goes, "Android."
Hello, Ambrose Kitkinnery. I have a delivery of 3 garments through Rocket Courier. Do you accept?
Yeah, suppose I do. And he kind of goes over. Let me see the paperwork.
Echo pops it up on their display.
Hang on. And he goes and he takes out some reading glasses and puts them on.
I can provide a printed copy.
Who uses printed copies anymore? Puts his hand on it and just accepts the shipment. You can bring it on inside, and he unlocks the door, and the door swings open, and you can walk these garments into a place that you've been before. This is the USR surplus store. You see the gun rack, little knife counter, tons of different clothes, and you enter. And he says, reminding you, I still got my eye on you.
I do apologize for my previous indiscretion with your company workflow. I was hoping, in fact, to inquire about a product you might sell.
What kind of product?
Do you have any repulsor coils for a USR Hornet?
Make a diplomacy check.
Why diplomacy? Anything else?
I know, right?
Talking to
Androids
people.
are really good at
Oh,
diplomacy.
come on.
It's an 11.
An 11.
I add nothing to my
I
diplomacy.
was like, come on, there's gotta be
I'm an
something.
android.
Androids are so good at diplomacy.
You seem new around here, so I understand. You might not know this. I'm not licensed to be selling no Starship parts. I couldn't be doing that.
Oh, my apologies. I was hoping, since you are a USR surplus store, that you would have USR parts. I am helping a friend repair some lockout ships.
Make another diplomacy check. Take a +4 conditional modifier.
He likes
At that
lockout.
moment, you can see his eyes kind of open up. He sits forward a little bit, and as his flannel swings open,
Oh, he knows.
you can see he has faded an Aura Bay lockout Summer League tattoo.
Oh,
Nice.
certainly locked up
Tattoo, even. Stupid.
Can we all get
God damn
those
it.
tattoos?
It's the
Little
7.
Pac-Man.
Plus
Retired
4?
for the evening. +4. It's still 11.
Dang.
The universe wants you to be at 11.
1-2-1.
Yeah.
some
It's a
might say.
1-2-1.
You know, we take our lockout pretty seriously around these parts. Bay lockout, anyways. Kind of my specialty. I'm a pretty big fan, you know. I do like lockout, and I'd love to help your friend, but I'm not licensed for those kind of parts, and I get in trouble for selling those. What kind of craft your friend driving, by the way?
They have 5
yeah.
5 USR Hornets that they will be refurbishing.
They're not our Hornets.
5 USR Hornets? That's from before the Vest War.
I can't pronounce.
It was 2 USR Hornets.
2 USR
Yeah, 2.
Hornets. Kara does not remember what they were.
The
Echo
other
would.
mismatch.
I have it somewhere. Hold on.
Those are old craft. That isn't going to be any kind of competitive around here. They're not trying to be part of our league, are they?
Unfortunately, we are.
The only people that fly Hornets in our league are Gray Ghosts and maybe Doxy's got one of them.
We are hoping to improve upon the craft with some modifications.
Weird. You gonna be the Gray Ghost now?
My friends and I have taken over membership of the team.
Membership? Teddy's got new. Well, this changed things. If you excuse me, I got some bets I have to make, but I need you to vacate the premises. I appreciate this news.
We told the wrong person.
I understand.
Echo leaves.
If you're looking for Starship parts, might want to try Spaceport.
Thank you for your assistance.
Red's getting a call from Ambrose right now, being like, "I've got something for you."
Yeah, his communication
Sorry, I
starts
can't
going.
talk.
TP's
now,
like,
I'm in
he's
the
getting a lot of
shitter.
texts right now. Easy.
Damn it!
Dang.
It was a good try.
worth
I really
it.
tried. I
It
tried to
was
get it to you. I
worth
tried to get it to you.
Echo is also thinking, mimicking Gibbs from last night. I wish Spice were here.
Spice does have
No
plus
problem. That happens.
diplomacy mod.
Little ships. I want to look at them.
Sure.
Oh, I didn't know you had to get up. I'm sorry.
Wow, we're finally doing lockout after all this.
Echo gets back on the communicators, again, including Peep, and says,
Unfortunately, I was not successful. And now we have many bets that might be placed against us.
A lot of people lose money when we win.
I shall instead take on some more debt. You can, like, it's text, but you can, like, the text is wobbly. And I shall bring 5 repulsor coils.
I Venmo.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, whatever. I Venmo Echo 400 credits.
Okay, so your pay drop app pings, and you have 400 more credits than you did before.
And I just send it with a little wiggle.
So, but she needs 500, right? If they all get broken.
No, she needs 5,000 per each one.
Unit.
So she needs like not so like
20,000.
yeah, we're
Echo's going into some debt.
I feel you.
A little bit of time goes by, and you get another message back from Peep, and this one goes, well, maybe you'll be able to put them back together at the end, and remember, there's a 10,000 credit prize. So that's almost
That
done.
covers 2.
That's assuming we
in the
break
time
all of them.
that Gibbs has
And
before
win.
the skirmish.
Yeah.
She wants to fill the junk cannons. And
Okay.
she has thoughts of what she wants to fill each of them with.
What does she want to fill them with?
I take the van and my Alexa and I go to the carnival. Well, first I go home
Okay.
and I want to get carnival toys.
Okay.
And then I also want to find any beach volleyballs,
Sure.
beach balls.
Sure.
I get a carload of actual garbage,
Okay.
like real garbage.
Sure.
I go to the Goodwill and I buy out all of their lingerie.
Okay. I would say just take like 5 credits from that.
Done. And then I go and I look
Some of
for,
that big bugs.
probably similarly at the Goodwill or whatever, and I look for like keyboards and Ethernet cables and like bullshit computer parts.
You find like it's an old suitcase, and as you're like looking around, you notice like a cable sticking out of it. You pop it open, and it's like, first of all, this suitcase, dust, and like it hasn't been opened in a long time. It is like somebody from the 90s, all of their like old cables that they had saved for years and years and years, and then just like lost at some point.
Nice.
And so this is just Ethernet cables, old like joysticks with those old like pin connectors, 16-pin connectors. There's like an old like weird, it looks like a microscope. You're turning it over, it's from some weird company called Nintendo or Virtua Boy. It's like tons of different junk.
Nice.
But yeah, you absolutely can
Cool.
get this.
I load up our car with those various items
Yeah, no problem.
and start heading towards the beach. But that's what I spend my day doing.
Roll a D100 for me.
A D100?
Yeah.
Hold on, I need a minute. Just kidding. I don't need that long. I don't know why I said it like that. 89. 89.
As you are going through this Goodwill, one of the things that you do notice, first of all, you find this like suitcase of old junk, and then you remember like Bubs had like that camera. He was somebody that liked this old kind of junky stuff, and so you look around and you do notice up on one of the shelves, there is one of these cameras.
Yeah.
It's marked as like 1,000 credits. That's kind of expensive. You see what is labeled as camera batteries, and you, having seen these before, recognize these are film canisters. There's about 10 of them, and they are for 5 credits each. They read that you see like a little placard that says that the batteries are probably all dead. They're display purposes only. But this is there are 10 reloads for Bub's camera.
10 reloads for Bubs' camera.
Yes, and this is an old
How
Polaroid
much do I
camera.
care? For 5 credits each. I buy them.
Okay.
I buy all of the 10. So
Okay.
10 times 5 plus 5.
Yeah. 55.
55. Cool.
So you get a whole bunch of these things. The person's like, "Oh, we haven't sold these in forever." They like give them to you, and like they're happy to get rid of them.
Yeah,
You get those, so no problem.
And
You know,
I just buy, like, I'm buying, like, weird shit. I throw in, like, a few shirts to make it a little bit less weird.
Yeah.
It's like when you buy cucumbers and condoms, you have to buy, like, something else.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, it's
like
that.
yeah. So I feel like you should just really lean into it, if anything else, you know.
Yeah, but I don't. I buy, like, a shirt and, like, I buy, like,
Cucumbers.
an Oras Bay college.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Like, graduating class of, like, 55, 50 or whatever.
Yeah, so 22:45.
Yeah, it's like, cool.
No
I'm like,
problem.
Put that
You
on.
do all that kind of stuff. After, like, as you were working on this and you all set about your various tasks, there's a point where Gibbs comes back this Alexa. It's like Ride of the Valkyries, and you see like the Alexa crest over the dunes, and it's just laden with garbage and like a whole laundry basket full of cables. You can see there is like a black garbage bag just stuffed with lingerie.
Yeah.
I imagine as everyone's doing that, me and Spice, Bubs has like that kit where he made like the letter to Spice, like the "Will you go on a date with me?" He has like some artistic kits. Bubs is like an artistic kind of person, so
He did make that whole garbage diorama.
okay.
Did.
So he is going to with Spice, like Spice probably like he's telling him like what to do or something. He's probably like drawing, like probably like making some designs on the ship. Maybe like some flames.
Okay.
Sick.
Because it makes the ship go faster.
Got some real
Can
Little
Gibbs?
Rascals vibes here.
Can mine have green bubbles?
Oh,
You realize that
yeah.
none of this is affecting the actual effectiveness of these ships.
No, but I'll feel cooler and I'll drive better.
Our ship.
Morale.
Also, while I appreciate your
Bose, make a disguise
getting
check.
junk for the cannons, we will probably replace them.
But
What?
it's
Give me
a
a D20.
skirmish.
-6.
And I start filling Gibbs's car gets actual garbage.
Okay.
A night.
Bubs gets beach balls. Echoes gets carnival toys.
Okay.
Spice gets the undies.
Hell yeah.
And Shade gets the Ethernet cable bullshit 90s Nintendos shot out of his cannon.
Spice and Bubs are the ones getting the lingerie. What was Bubs getting?
The
Bubbles.
beach balls.
Okay. The two of you imagine that the damage of your craft is going to be slightly less than your companion.
I don't care. It's funny.
Isn't it great? You're just gonna shoot out like pink
Yeah,
panties.
but like gross goodwill ones.
And the best part about that is when you take it from like a gameplay standpoint, a critical hit with a junk cannon applies an effect called knockdown. And when it's applied to bay lockout, where there's water beneath and you're traveling pretty fast, you're basically crashing them into the water, which does take them out of the race.
Nice.
That's 5 points right away, which is great. But additionally, the way that that's going to play out flavor-wise is they're going to get blinded with panties, right?
Yeah!
So that's so funny.
I love it.
Thank you.
Bubs is
Send
going
it
to
out.
take the beach volleyballs,
Yep.
and he's going to take. He has just pure hand sanitizer,
Of course.
not just like wipes, but like
no, like military
yeah.
grade. Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's just going to start pouring it into the beach volleyballs.
It's so strong that like at first he goes like this and it evaporates before it hits the actual beach volleyball. So you have to like apply it. You have to like get the applicator and like insert it in and like squeeze it in. And when you shut it, it like begins to rapidly deflate because it evaporates quickly in the sun.
How many do you think I could probably?
Like 2.
Okay, yeah, I have a couple. And I rolled a 19 on the disguise.
Okay. So, for what it's worth, the designs and things that you do apply to these craft are very nice. You do
Yeah,
one with...
I think I will do a design to make it look ocean themed, so it kind of matches like the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a point where you
Flames
come out...
matches the water.
What
no, I
color-
changed the flames. No.
And so as you come out, I will say Teddy does come over and goes, hey, use like the right kind of paint, okay? And he goes over and he'll take out like actual paints for you because you recognize pretty quickly your marker's not
Yeah.
going to hold up to the ocean.
And I'm trying
at
to do
55 miles an
like
hour.
a camouflage, kind of like ocean pattern.
Sure, yeah. And you feel pretty good about it. I mean, you ended up like using like dappled grays, and then you use the natural reflectiveness of the craft. You would imagine will take on elements of the reflecting light. Yeah, you feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, and I imagine spice helps me a little bit.
Sure.
Yes. Wow, Spice. So, out of game, this is the same beach that we're throwing a party for Kevin later, right?
Yes.
Apparently.
Okay, so when she's not helping Bubbles paint the sides of the new ships,
Sure.
she's gonna scope out good beach fire spots
Okay.
and like
Make a
maybe try to like scavenge.
Make a survival check.
Okay.
A good campfire spot.
Yeah, exactly. You're looking for a campsite here for an optimal party
A
zone.
good view.
This is important
Chill
in terms of your
vibes and,
overall
like-
party presentation.
Is there
Oh, yeah.
anything else that I can do besides just like putting in the engine to make the one that didn't have an engine fly.
Over the course of this week, yeah, for sure. Before like this scrimmage this afternoon, probably not.
I do have
Reduce the
quick
DC of
patch,
survival
which
checks
gives
to
me
live
2
off the
system
land. Never
patches
mind.
per action.
This is living
A
off the
system
land.
pack is like quick recovery of damage. and
Party
elements.
life and off the land.
Yeah, reduce. I'm gonna argue. Hear me out. So reduce the DC of survival checks to live off the land by 5.
Yeah, I'll give that to you.
Nice.
This is a much less like
Living up the
severe,
land.
like this is a way easier circumstance because unlike actual survivalism, you aren't like, all right, I need fresh water, I need food. You're like, yeah, I can
dry
get
that doesn't
timber
count.
so I
Count
can
me.
start this
That
fire.
is literally this side up.
If it's got,
It was literally on the side of it. Okay,
Oh, that dice is so pretty.
and then live off the land. This is new birthday dice.
Those are really nice.
Yeah.
I have like so many beautiful birthday dice. Thank you, literally everybody at this table.
Everybody's just like, we don't want Olive to keep borrowing our dice.
Yeah.
Honestly, they rolled better when Olive was using them, so I'm just jealous.
Well, it was survival, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's 21. Yes, 21.
Okay. So you, as
95.
everybody else is like working really hard, Bubs is like, Spice, you're gonna help me, right? And you're like, sure, Bubs. And you just walk away. You begin to look up and down the beach.
Well, she
and-
puts like her sunglasses on the back of her head.
Yeah, exactly. And every time Bubs starts like talking, you just nod, and it looks like Spice is paying attention.
I mean, Bubs, you know, he looks at Spice and he just feels inspired looking at her. So
Exactly.
it's like a muse, you know?
Exactly. And so as you do look around a little bit further away from everything,
Yeah, exactly.
when
It's like
you guys had taken some time here at the beach, there is an area where the rocks rise up pretty high, like tall rocks that cut off the beach. There's more beach beyond. But if you were to go out beyond that and kind of like walk through a little bit of the water, on the other side of the rock, there's like a little private beach cove almost. And so that would be maybe like 35 feet wide, but then maybe like 50 feet long. A swath of the beach that is almost hugged by rock.
Awesome.
It would be very private. It would be right on the beach. And as you like look up, you imagine like the black rock will reflect the skylight too. It'll be beautiful.
Awesome. Great. She like takes a picture, maybe like gathers up some wood and like puts it in a little
Yeah.
like campfire thing, maybe put some rocks around it, and she's like, beach party.
Sure.
Yeah.
No
She's like
problem.
selfie, she's like, party night.
And with that roll, you like do a really good job with it. You dig out like a space for there to be a flue so that air intake can be pulled underneath the logs, and like you really mindfully create a spot that will work really well. And you do it in such a way that when the tide comes in, it's not going to ruin the fire.
Nice.
You kind of like divot the sand in a way that like the water will have to go extra far to go up and get it. You feel pretty good about it.
Nice.
I would like to posit that it is not out of the realm of possibility that Chet is also at the beach.
Yeah, possible.
Chet is a semi-professional surfer.
and he got an invite to this party we're supposedly throwing.
Oh yeah, you are almost certainly going to see Chet at this
Yeah.
point.
Ah, yay! I love this character.
Yeah, like all three of you happen to make characters that are probably going to show up.
Nice.
Especially now that like word has gotten out.
I feel like Chet's probably riding the waves and he's like, "Hey, bartender, sweet fire pit."
This is like
Good to see you.
this is literally in my mind. It was going to be all of you disappointing Kevin at your house. This is becoming so much more out of control than it was originally. I love it. So
Bubs is not.
you do all these things. You take all your tasks. You repair the engine. Echo, you return with your repulsor coils. Every time you pull one off the bottom, it like tugs your heart a little bit more. It's thousands of credits each one, and it's so effortless to break them, but each one is costing you so much.
Would I be able to repair them at the end?
Assuming that there isn't further damage in the combat that you guys are going to engage in over multiple rounds, yeah, of course.
Isn't that the point of lockout, is to fight each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
Echo
this is
not.
The point of lockdown.
Then you can repair the repulsors.
And so, like,
too.
as you finish these craft, and you do manage to get all three craft working. He got one of them, and the rest of you got two. He does gather you around, and he says, "Okay, so I know some of you haven't done this before. You all look like you're reasonably like put together types. So, he like turns and he looks at you, and you're like dripping, and you're sticky, and he goes, most of you." So just like regular, just like lockout, you need to finish 3 laps on the course. The course is all regulation oval. They're supposed to be symmetrical, but they're all roughly, depending on the features of the space, of course. You can only complete a lap if you touch all 4 beacons. The beacons are these little glowing things that will float above the water. They're hard to miss. Depending on the position that you finish, you'll get more points. First place is 15 points. 10th place is 2. But typically there is no 10th place finisher because usually a couple people get knocked out at different points. Disabling a craft is worth 5 points, and then being disabled, you lose a point for your team. Any questions?
Disabling is worth 4 points.
5 points.
Sorry,
Sorry.
5.
And getting disabled is -1.
I read the 5 points and then I pre-read the -1 point and I made it 4.
Yeah. Sorry, so if we get 15 points, we're instantly in
First.
If you finish first, you are awarded 15 points for your team.
But-
and so the way he explains it is very much like Mario Kart.
Okay.
So if you finish first, 15 points for your team. Second, 12. Third, 10. Additionally to what place you finish in, you can get additional points for knocking out craft.
So if we knock, so we're aiming for more than 15 points.
So you can get a
A
maximum.
lockout is when you disable all the enemy team's craft and you win by default.
You can
That's
get a
called a
maximum of 40 points
Right.
by coming in first and disabling the entire other team
Right. So
as one player.
thinking about what we're good at, some people should be trying to go fast and get to first place, and some of us should be disabling.
Yeah, that's typically what people do, but it all depends on the team. So I managed to get Doxy to bring some of her people down, and we're gonna do a scrimmage against them. And then you guys hear wheels, and you can actually see he cranes a second, goes, that actually might be them now. And you can see powder blue, this little van pull up, and it's towing 5 trailers. And each of these trailers, almost like a train in and of itself as it pulls up. There are 5 lockout craft, each one similar to your team. They're all just mismatched.
Nice.
Let me grab them actually.
Ooh!
Are we gonna play right now?
Yeah.
Scrimmage
Well,
time.
yeah, we gotta practice before our big game.
I don't know. We have
You are banished.
So
All of my dice are good. Literally all these 20s.
you see,
And
as the 2 van doors
I
open.
like this circular one.
Oh yeah,
That one looks way cool.
that's one of the oldest ones, but I'll
The
get there in
powder
a second.
blue. That's a fun.
And I will also say the way that I ended up getting these,
Oh, show me to the camp.
I found.
Oh, yeah.
here. I found on
hold them up, sorry.
on Amazon 72 of these little rubber ships for like $5.
Hell yeah!
So,
we can play
yeah.
Lockout 1,000
Forever.
times.
Oh, I have all the teams. Yeah, we're good. We're good to go.
Yeah.
I can't wait for me to
Literally all
actually get a
of
board
them.
game sponsorship for this.
So this beat up cargo van opens up, and you can see there are bubble letters that read Doxy's Barnacle and Crust Removal across the side. These bubble letters are pink, almost like bubble gum. You can see stepping out first an older, like middle-aged human female. You can see like big puff of graying hair. She's wearing like a little bit off to the side what looks almost like what would be like a mailman's hat. But the rest of her is in a Doxy's barnacle and crust removal jumpsuit, very much like professional lockout style. And as you look at these ships, despite the fact that this is the last place team, they're all relatively nice, certainly in better shape than all of yours. You also notice the weapons affixed to these ships as they pull the tarps off, different than your own. In fact, the craft, as much as they are mismatched, you can see a couple of differences certainly that set theirs apart. Firstly, you notice the weapon that is beneath them much more streamlined, much more military looking. I would say, Spice, you recognize
Damn, I
these
was
are
wondering.
old GPF grenade launchers.
Yep.
And so that is certainly the weapon that they're packing. Depending on the grenade, the weapon will be very different. So it's hard to tell. Is this going to be like fragments? Is this going to be like a solar flare? Is this going to be smoke?
so many grenades in
yes,
this game.
there are.
There's so
and they
many.
could theoretically use a mixture. So similar to you guys, they're able to change what they're firing on the fly. But you can see
don't have to
opposite of this
manually
woman
load
who Teddy leans over and goes, "That's Edith." Sorry.
Edith
That's
Doxy.
Edith Doxy. Yeah, she's the owner of the team. It's from her family. And the other one, and you can see young, maybe 18-year-old human male, bald, pale skin, thin lips, real weak chin. And that's their son. That's Eddie. Edith and Eddie Doxy, they own the business and they run this team. They like to play Lockout. And they put a lot of money into it, but they're not really good. Hey, Edith! And you can see Edith turns around and Teddy goes, "Where's the rest of your team?" And at this point, Edith comes over and goes, "Oh, they'll be along shortly. We need to find 3 more players." And you can see Eddie turns and looks down and just goes, "I think I see them." And turning, you can see there is one more van approaching. And Spice, for you, immediately you recognize the person driving it.
No.
Because
Who is it?
this rough and tumble 41-year-old human you had last seen outside the tunnel of love.
Oh no!
Oh no!
He found us!
But you can see with a smile on his face, Diego behind the wheel.
Fucking hate Diego.
There is a massive reptilian humanoid behind him and a little Yosoki. All 3 of them are wearing the powder blue Doxies jumpsuits.
Oh my god.
And because it is about to be 9 o'clock, and I don't want to jump into the beginning of a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was
No way!
This is where we're going to end for the evening.
Oh my god! Diego!
I've been sitting on this for so long.
Wow! We just keep derailing.
Well, no, I kept trying to drop it to you guys, but everybody at Mosaic has been telling you somebody's looking around for Spice.
Yeah.
Somebody's doing searches on Spice. It's even on the website. If you look at the personnel files,
Yeah.
people are looking for Spice. It's been Diego.
Bubba's
looking
gonna have
this
to
whole
kill
time.
Diego.
He's been rolling.
gonna
He's
happen.
been looking, and he's finally coming in. You guys are undercover. This is the perfect moment for him. So this is
Damn, Diego. All right, respect.
So anyways, thank you for hanging out with us for this session, Mosaic Team 5. We are going to be back. I believe everybody's back next week.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week, and we'll be playing our first game of Bay Lockout.
Finally!
Nice.
So this is fantastic. I thought you guys were going to get here this week. I have everything ready.
We're almost there.
But
It takes us forever to get anywhere.
it does. However, we'll begin with that next week. If you cannot wait for Mosaic Team 5 next week, tomorrow
Sure can't.
at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as alluded to by Matt, you can join myself, Dan, and Matt for Adventures in Alberon, session 1,
And Tina and Hannah and Alana.
and Tina and Hannah and Alana for session. I have to look it up because it's so many sessions now.
120.
120. Yeah, session 120. And the group is finally beginning to make its way in the direction of Calypsos. By way, it would seem, perhaps of the Cold Forge. So we'll see how that ends up working out. But until then, it is crazy out there. Is anybody signing us off, or is it me?
It's you.
It is crazy out there, so please stay safe. For those of you who are joining us tomorrow night, we'll see you then. But otherwise, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Boyfriend.